Volatility, guys. Volatility. It's coming back today. Is the return of the volatility. Okay, so again, as I said yesterday, this whole move to the top side seemed like a bluff. I didn't really believe that this was gonna start pushing up, to be honest, and I thought it was just gonna create this upper wick and then start dropping. Unfortunately, because of the volatility, I kind of got wicked out, because you guys gotta understand it's gonna do way more retests now compared to, like, obviously back then. Let's say if it was like last month or even the month before, like, you usually just get gold starting to drop, but now you're gonna see a lot of retests. It's gonna go up to collect a lot more orders now, because it will be hard for it to stop pushing in one direction. So it needs something strong, like it needs to have, like, you know, a lot of orders in order for it to, like, start breaking out of these areas. Because you understand, even like the daily lows, that is an area. If you go on your 15-minute, if you actually mark your daily low, you'll see literally is going to be either a support area on 15-minute, 30-minute, 4-hour, but you will see some sort of zones. Look at that. See how you're forming a double bottom down here, and then from here, aggressive push to the top side. So this was your first attempt now to break down, and we understand that this area here was respected. Now this is your second attempt to break down. Look, from here, when we did start to reject, we kind of formed our top up here, and then from there started to push down once again. So this was our second attempt not to kind of like break down. If we can kind of drag this to the left as well, just look at the daily range, see what the daily range is doing. So again, double bottom being formed here. Looking to the left, let's just keep on dragging this. Look at that. Had a double top up here as well. This was a lot of selling pressure, so we do understand that there was a lot of selling pressure up here, but we just got to understand the majority always wins. It's so simple. So sellers did try their best to drive price down from this level here, but every time they failed. This was the first attempt. Again, price came all the way down here. This was such a key area for buyers. Buyers always come into control over here, and then they drive the price up. But this time we actually ended up violating the structure highs as well. If you look at your 30-minute structure highs, they have been violated at this point now. So technically we're starting to close above this resistance level as well. So let's look at the whole daily range now. Again, look at your daily range. Let's just look at how much the daily candle has pushed up at this point. It's pushed up about 75 pips. So again, we're playing within this intraday range now. If we start respecting this level here, guess what? We're going to start coming up, right? We're going to start coming up. Previous candle gave us that retest. It came down to this resistance level, and it gave us that retest that we were looking for. So we do have that retest now. This candle here has a bottom wick as well. So obviously we do understand that you need a bottom wick in order for you to start pushing up and actually start giving you the actual move, unless there is some sort of high volatile news event, like, you know, CPI or something. That way, obviously, you're not really expecting any sort of wicks, because you're expecting explosive moves, and then the wicks can come later on when market does start to calm down a little bit. But now we're just expecting sustainable price action. So at the moment, we do understand that, okay, from here we started to push down all the way down. This was your first attempt to kind of like have that correction, right? So again, over here, this is a significant area for sellers, a really strong area for sellers actually, because you're forming a double top here as well. Look, so from here, they drove the price all the way down, but at this point now, guess what we started to do? We started to form higher highs and higher lows. So maybe what this move to the downside could be, that liquidity grab to start pushing all the way back up, because you got to see, look at the structure. The structure lows are actually all the way down there, so you are technically in an uptrend now. Look at that, you're forming higher highs, higher lows, and these are your structure lows actually. So unless you start violating these lows, you are still technically in an uptrend. And what's happening is, look at that, you're forming higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. From here, some sort of correction started, because again, the actual move started all the way from down there. So this is pretty much just like 50% correction now. So let's say the whole move is about how many pips? You've pushed about a lot of pips now, and then this push to the downside, push down. This is basically about 50% correction, so 600 pips to the top side, and then this move to the downside was about 300 pips now. And again, yesterday we got that retest, which I wanted to see, because again, I was telling you guys, like, this candle here seems a little bit dodgy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't believe that it's gonna start pushing up. I believe that it's gonna actually start pushing down. So that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, the way it pushed down was in such a slow way, so it just kind of threw me off. But again, this is December, so it's something that we should be expecting anyway. Yeah, so anyway, now what's happening is, look, again, you're starting to violate these structure highs now. You're starting to close above this resistance level, and we have this clean traffic now. Look at that, again, such a clean move to the top side, and I feel like we can really imitate this move, and 1800 could be our target today. 1800 could be our target. So obviously when our session does open up, we do have this final GDP news coming in at 1:30. So with that, we're going to start seeing some more volatility. So now again, guys, two things are going to happen. We have broken out of this resistance level. Now looking at the daily candle, we've not even pushed about 100 pips. So daily candle can easily start pushing up to the top side now. And 2 times now we've attempted to break below this structure. So at this point now, clearly we should start holding above this resistance level and start pushing up. You don't want to see price coming back into this resistance level. If we do start turning this area here into some sort of resistance against, then guess what? We're most probably going to come down to these lows here. That's what usually happens, right? You turn this area into a strong resistance level, you start coming down here. This happened once, it's happened twice, it's happened 3 times here now. So again, I can also see sells playing out as well below this, because once again, look, what reason does price have coming back into the range? And especially if it's coming down with like a lot of momentum, like a nice bearish candle, kind of like engulfing everything to the left, I'm going to be really fluid in the market and take it down as well. Until then, again, we've cleared this resistance. Now we're pretty much just forming higher highs, higher lows. I think we can see 1 or 2 tiny bearish candles kind of like start trading around this range, which is 1791, and maybe when our session opens, we can see the explosive push. Even if we go down to the lower time frames, you guys can see we've started to now consolidate, but the consolidation is above the zone now. That's the best thing about it, it's actually above this zone. So again, going back to the hourly as well, let's just see what the hourly is doing. Look at the previous hourly candle. Wow, what a beast of a candle this one was. And from here, again, violating the structure highs at this point now, breaking out of this consolidation. And you know, as soon as you do break out of a consolidation, what happens is you get such an aggressive push. But you always do want to wait for that retest as well, especially in the month of December. You're not expecting any crazy moves on gold, unless again, if there's like a high volatile news event. Today we just have an orange folder, so again, we're not expecting something super crazy, but we should be able to get some volume. So you know, it will be tradable today. That's the best thing. So again, we're gonna wait for some sort of a pullback, some sort of a retest, and then from there look to take it up, because again, 1800 can be retested now. Looking at the bigger picture, we are in an uptrend. This whole move to the top side had to be corrected because it was such an aggressive move. Again, FOMC, a lot of liquidity down here, gave us the aggressive push to the top side, came all the way to the top side of the range now. And now at this point, what you want to do is you want gold to start turning this into a new range. So this should become the lows of the range now, so the retest that we are doing. And then the previous candle has actually ended up rejecting as well. So now looking to the left, right, when we do start to turn this area into some sort of support, what happens is, you look at that, you get aggressive candle to the top side. Again, another sort of candle here, you again start turning this 1800 level into the highs. So that's what I want to see now. I want to see this being our new consolidation now, if that makes sense. This, not consolidation actually, I would want to see this being turned into our range now. These are the lows of the range, 1785 and 1800 as the top side of the range. And when we do start getting obviously more momentum, maybe first week of January or maybe even Feb, then we can start breaking out of this range to the top side and just start, you know, a massive uptrend. That's going to be the money day, honestly. Until then, we're just going to have to start trading within this range. And again, looking to the left, usually where do we start to see rejections from? You see a rejection from up here, see a rejection from up here. So we are actually approaching a zone now, but the most previous zone that we do have is literally this level here. From here we started a massive rejection now. This was the first rejection, came all the way back up to retest this. Again, look, retest of this level, price came all the way up to this level. So do you want to mark this? Obviously, you guys can see once again, usually when we do get retest of this level down here, let me just quickly mark this, price comes all the way up here, and then from there we start to reject. See massive rejections. Again, you do want to see how price reacts when we start hitting these zones. I mean, going to the 30-minute time frame now, we do have clean traffic, but again, if you look to the left, we've had some sort of issues. around this area. Look, once we do break out of it, it comes down and we do see a retest of this level, and then from there obviously it starts to push all the way back up, and then you start to turn this area here into some sort of next support zone. So do want to keep these areas in our mind as well. Obviously we are looking to see how price reacts to these levels, and if we do see some sort of aggressive break of these levels at that if you see that, then you're expecting price to just keep on pushing up, because again you are expecting these areas here to hold as support areas, not as resistance areas, because we are looking for gold to go up. Our bias is bullish on gold today. That's what we are looking for. It could potentially just be forming the upper wick, and if it is forming the upper wick, again we're going to start rejecting from here, and we're going to see aggressive push to the downside, and which we can capitalize on as well, and it will be like capitalizing all the way from the top side. And look at the previous candle, had a rejection from the downside. Again, as I said, the previous candle I wasn't happy with catching any sort of buy positions. I was actually just looking for sells. We executed on one sell position. It literally wicked me out by like 2 pips, and then it dropped. It literally dropped straight to the TP. Look at the TP, how precise the TP was as well. Wow, it just, do you know where it is? Yeah, because my TP was actually 89 as well. It went way past the TP, because I did say that it's going to start coming down to this resistance level. From there we're going to start rejecting now, and then this candle should start becoming that engulfing candle which goes all the way to the top side of the range. So again, like, the analysis played out to the T, but unfortunately guys, I just got waked out yesterday. But it is what it is, man. Today we're gonna be way smarter, way more smart. I'm gonna learn from my mistakes. What I done yesterday, I'm not gonna repeat that today. Today I'm going in with big stop losses. They're gonna be below structure lows. I'm not putting any sort of tight stop losses today. Even though we do have news kicking in, it's still just an orange folder. If it was a red folder, then yeah, could have potentially gone in with a tighter stop loss, but probably going to see me with a 20 pip stop loss, and I'm going to just let it run. Again, we got 2 opportunities. One opportunity at 1:30 when our session opens, and then another opportunity at 3 o'clock. I'm going to look to capitalize on both opportunities, because Friday is a bank holiday, so we're not going to be able to trade on a Friday. So what we can do is we can start trading today. I can take 2 trades, one at obviously 1:30, and then another after 3 o'clock. That's when usually our session ends. But today, again, right now volatility is like a blessing, so you know what, I don't wanna count this out. This news here could give us some sort of move as well. So yeah, how's everyone doing though? Good evening guys around the world. Good evening. Hi bro, you see 30-minute in Euro JPY. Hi bro. Hey, what's happening at you? What's happening, Kelvin? Euro JPY guys, we don't really trade Euro JPY. It's just gold that we're trading at the moment. And also right now gold is quite slow as well because of December. But Euro JPY, we don't trade anything else, so there is no point of me analyzing anything else, because I don't know how to trade them pairs. But gold, I can analyze gold, because obviously I trade gold on a daily basis. I know what to look for, I know how gold moves, and yeah. So again, we're looking to see 2 things now. Are we forming an upper wick? And if we are forming an upper wick, then we're going to start seeing massive rejections from these areas here. It's going to be hard for gold to start breaking out these zones, and from there we're going to start trading below this same resistance level now, because again, look, these are confluences now. You start to reject off of a key area, you start coming back within this consolidation. Next thing that you are expecting is this support level here to be broken and us to go down to the next support level, and then from there either you're expecting this to break and then potentially go down to the structure lows, start to violate the structure lows, potentially grab some liquidity from there, start to push up. So again, we're just going to play based off the intraday time frame. We're going to use our confluences. Right now, quite bullish on gold. I'm not going to lie to you guys, but again, it's just going to have to be one of them things. We're going to have to wait and see how price starts to react around these levels. What's happening, Kiz? You good?
Yes, good morning. Sorry.
Good morning. How's everything going?
Oh my gosh, it's good, but we're just busy, with all these kids
Yeah.
for the holidays.
Yeah, Christmas coming up as well.
Yes, we have 5 of them right now.
Oh, exciting times ahead of us, guys. Exciting times ahead of us. You know what is, yeah? Even with like trading now, I'm really just so excited for like Feb. As soon as Feb approaches, it's just time to do a lot of damage, honestly. And Even right now, we can start taking out like profits, but from Feb, I'm gonna look to like start scaling in. So like even like literally take one position, make a risk-free, scale in with another one. I've got a scaling plan as well for Feb. Honestly, so excited to execute on that. But any questions? Anyone on the YouTube live stream chat, guys? Do you guys have any sort of questions? How's everyone doing? How are you, Samita? How are you, Kelvin? Are you around the world? What's happening, guys? What are we looking for, gold? What are you guys looking for today on gold? Are you looking for the sells or the buys? Let us know what your analysis are, guys. Also, if you have any sort of charts, do send me your charts as well, man. If you guys use TradingView, make sure you guys obviously have the charts and just like mark those areas, like, you know, you're looking for sells from this area or buys from this area. Send it to me, man, and then I can start looking at your charts as well. You can also send them to me on Insta if it doesn't let you send them on YouTube live stream. You can also send them to me on Insta. Or even Discord actually, but I would say like not Discord because I've got a lot of people on Discord, so it's just gonna be a bit long. Looking for buyers, amazing. Someone's looking for buyers as well. Do you know what? Exactly the same thing I'm looking for. I'm looking for buyers as well because this technically is becoming the top side of the range now. And this, we should start turning this area into the lows of the range at this point now. So from here, we should start bouncing all the way back up to the top side of the range. But obviously, as soon as we start tapping these areas where you've seen a lot of reactions from previously, you're going to start to reject from these areas now. So, you know, you are expecting pullbacks as well. You're not expecting like a rocket ship of a candle on the daily time frame, especially during this month. This week's not going to be any sort of like crazy volatile week either. There is existing home sales later at 15. That should give us some movement. Yeah, we're going to be trading that as well, guys. So obviously first we got final GDP kicking in at 1:30. Then obviously 3 o'clock we got existing home sales coming in. We're going to be trading both sessions actually, both sessions. So we're going to trading again, as I said, this is such a low volatile month, so any sort of like volatility is a blessing. So we're going to be trading both sessions. I'm actually quite excited now because today we're going to see some volume kicking in another 10 minutes, hopefully another 10-12 minutes. I'm looking for buyers, everyone's looking for buyers. Actually confused about taking trades in December. Do you know what? December becomes really tricky to trade because again, what happens is with gold is that, you know, when you are trading gold on a normal sort of day, when, you know, the volatility is normal, you start to see the moves playing out really quickly. At that point, you can start obviously seeing those confluences and confirmations like really quickly as well. That's why we trade the minute time frame, so we don't kind of like miss out. But what happens is, obviously, when you have something like December, a really low volatile month, what happens is obviously you're looking for those confirmations and you have to wait for those confirmations for so long. And then when those confirmations do come up, you're kind of like thinking, okay, is this really the confirmation? Because it's happening so slowly. But then it might actually be the confirmation, but it's just gold is just doing this in such a slow manner, and then that's throwing you off. So again, guys, the confirmations that we do get, it's kind of like GJ now. You're gonna have to just go based off those slow confirmations because you're not gonna see any like 100 pip moves in like minutes. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, even same thing happened yesterday. You guys saw my analysis played out to the T, but do you know what threw me off was just like such slow volatile moves to the downsides, and then there was so many more fluctuations as well. I was like, it's definitely coming down for liquidity, and then it was reacting to the liquidity zones as well. It kept on pushing up. So most definitely today, that's what we're going to learn from yesterday, right? Again, every day you take a loss, it should be a learning lesson from you. If you're not learning from your losses, you're just not, it just doesn't make sense, right? So today, what have I learned? Now we've learned that even though if you do see your confirmations, you kind of like got to take the volatility out of the equation now. Just got to go based off the confirmations which are not related with volatility. So that's what I'm going to be looking for today. If we're seeing structure being obviously formed, we're rejecting off of a key area, and you know, obviously then we're going to the next area, respecting the next area as well. And if everything's starting to build in our favor, we're going to execute. What's your confluence on gold price action? Someone said made 8% on EU on London Open. Do you know what it is, guys? 8% in a day is possible, but it's just not realistic. You can't make 8% every single day. because you will have those losing days. And let's say if you're risking 8% a day, you're going to end up losing 8% as well. So now if your psychology is not on point, you might end up taking another trade, so that can end up being a massive loss. You can lose more than 8%. So again, I mean, if you're risking about 1% and then your R2R made sense and it made you 8%, then that's amazing. But if you guys are risking about 8% per trade, that's just really risky, man. Especially if you're trading big accounts, that's really risky. What's your confidence on gold price action? So again, as I said, guys, if you understand the bigger picture, I'm not going to go into the bigger picture just yet, but if you understand the bigger picture, you got to know that gold's in a massive uptrend now. Looking at the daily, what's happened is, again, yesterday's candle, I was calling this a bluff. Expected gold to go down a little bit more, down to this resistance level. From there, start turning this area here into some sort of support, and then start turning these highs into some sort of resistance, and then this kind of becomes your consolidation, the next range, right? So that's exactly what's happening now. We're seeing massive reactions from the downside. We are in an uptrend. You had to come down, get some more liquidity and some more orders down here. Exactly what gold's done now. So now you're expecting gold to start pushing up to the highs of the range, which will be this resistance level that we're tapping up now, this resistance level we're approaching now. So from here, either we're going to start bouncing back down, and then obviously, as I said, we do have this range on the 30-minute time frame as well. So we start coming back into this range now after breaking up. This is basically going to start giving us some more selling pressure, and then sales can start playing out as well. Otherwise, we're just waiting for this pullback to start taking it back up. Can really easily secure a 1-to-1 within this, really easily. Everything makes sense on gold. Is not even pushed up about 100 pips in one direction. Obviously, we are tapping this area here now. From there, you want to see those reactions. But again, the reaction should not be some sort of a massive rejection. It just should be a healthy pullback. Once we see that pullback, and then you start to see now your price is coming down to your zone. From there, you want to see buyers again starting to take control, and then we can take it up to our level basically. My live stream is delayed. What can I do? What do you mean by delayed? By how many seconds? This is YouTube. Like, it is always going to be delayed on YouTube, probably by a couple of seconds. Like the stream, appreciate that, guys. And because we got a lot of news tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised if today is super slow. Yeah. Today is a really high volatile session as well. But again, we can probably expect something, man. We got obviously at 1:30 news kicking in, then also 3 o'clock as well. But again, we're not just gonna jump into anything unless we start to see some volatility kick into the markets. But yeah, tomorrow is gonna be super exciting as well. Tomorrow is a really volatile day. Make sure you guys don't miss out on tomorrow, because man, I'm gonna up my risk to about 2% per trade tomorrow, because it's gonna be quite exciting. Because again, Friday is bank holiday as well, so we're not gonna be doing much on a Friday. So it's pretty much just gonna be tomorrow that we have. So yeah, guys, again, as I said, tomorrow is going to be quite volatile. So yeah, excited for tomorrow, man. But I think today we can most definitely see something as well. And the way this candle is starting to print out now, this bearish candle, I don't know, I have a feeling that we might just see this candle here, starting to fake everything up to the left. Could also see that happening as well. That's also one of the scenarios. Possibly could happen. If we start to see a lot of momentum kick in now, start trading below 1791, we can start to potentially fake this previous candle out and start coming down to the structure lows. It can most definitely happen. How are you doing around the world? Yeah, how's everyone doing? Yeah, like 5 seconds. Haha, just join his Zoom. Yeah, you guys can join my Zoom for sure. Obviously, it's only for paid members, but on Zoom, there are no delays. But unfortunately, guys, there's nothing I can do on YouTube. There's always going to be that delay, maybe 5 seconds, 10 seconds. It depends on your connection as well as my connection. But that's why I offer Zoom. With Zoom, you can, it's only for paid members. It's not really open to public right now unless you've done a one-to-one session with me, because you do have to understand the strategy. Otherwise, it's too much stress for me. This is not signals. But if you do understand the strategy and you are a professional trader, with professional approach, at that point, you're more than welcome to join my private team, because, at that point we can grow together. But if someone's coming in with insane mentality, like, they just want to come, join and copy my trades, it's just going to be such a bad. It's gonna be bad vibes when we're losing, but when we are losing now, and you know, no one's blaming me. When we're winning, it's not on me. It's like a team effort. You know what I mean? So, again, I've tried in the past. Now I had like 10 plus people in my private Zoom, and then wins were there. People were just so happy. Like the emotions were all time highs. Like some losing streak kicked in. People didn't know how to manage their risk. Even though the losing streak lasted, I think, for like a week, I still came out profitable for the week. But some people ended up taking massive losses because, again, they just copied my trades. They didn't know how to manage their risk. They didn't know what to look for. They didn't know when to call it a day. That's the issue with private Zoom. You have to at least take a one-to-one session with me so I can teach you how to manage risk. Kind of like talk to you about the psychology, get to know you basically. Who's yes sir? Yo, Paul, is that you? Who's yes sir in our Zoom? Is that Paul? But guys, another 4 minutes left as well. Another 4 minutes left, and then our session should start. Whoever yes sir is, unmute yourself, let me know, because my session is starting in 4 minutes and I do not have any energy for trolls today, that's for sure. So you got another minute or two, let me know who you are, otherwise you're getting booted. Do you know what it is? Yeah, I don't feel like being risky today, so take it, yes sir. See you. Alright, there we go. Okay, cool. Another 4 minutes left now. What are we looking for? Again, expecting some sort of pullback now. Down to this level. But yeah, as I said earlier, we were talking about, oh my god, already up 5% on my MFF account today. But today, equity is back to 0%. Really need some motivation from you guys. Already up 5% of my MFF account today. But today, equity is back to 0%. Huh? What does that mean? So you were up 5% and now you're back to 0%. So you lost the 5% that you gained. Man, if you were up like... So you're still holding the drawdown? Is that what you're doing? Are you still holding the drawdown? Do you know what it is, guys? That's why you can't like... First of all, like... If you've secured 5% profits and you're holding a drawdown of 5%, that don't make sense, man. Because I doubt you secured 5% profits in a day. If you did, then again, you shouldn't be in a 5% drawdown anyway. It doesn't make sense. Your R2R doesn't make sense. Again, that's the thing, guys. It's risk management. You gotta understand how to manage your risk. If you're good at managing risk, you can be really profitable in the markets. If you're not good at managing risk, then it's just, I don't know, it's hard for you to be profitable. Same thing you guys will see with the YouTube live stream as well. It's like the same sort of human behavior. Once we are really profitable and on a crazy winning streak, you'll see the numbers just start to skyrocket. As soon as we take 1-2 losses, you'll see, people are not motivated enough to start tuning in. It's the same exact thing. That's why trading is so hard, man. It's like a emotional roller coaster. Like, when you're winning, people are getting this high. They're like, oh man, I'm making this much money so quickly. As soon as losing streak kicks in, people don't know how to manage their risk. Everything they've made, they start losing it. We don't lose everything, still profitable. But again, is there any paid class? Yeah, I do charge for one-to-one sessions. I do offer them. You can hit me up on Insta. We can discuss whenever I do have some free time. We can definitely do that, guys. But yeah, again, guys, risk management, number one thing. It doesn't matter. You don't actually need to kind of like be right when it comes to analysis. You can use an analyst like me for the analysis. As long as you know how to manage your risk, you can be profitable. So let's see. Got another minute left for our session to open now. Look at the current 30-minute candle. At this point now, we formed the highs. It's potentially done a pullback as well. So let's just see now. Where did we pull back to? Was it some sort of an area? So it does usually we see some sort of reactions down to this area. So okay, we just seen a fake up being formed around this area. Look at that, this area being held as a resistance. Again, another rejection. Look at that retest of this area and a massive explosive push to the top side. So now the next candle either is going to start breaking up to the top side, or we're going to start pushing all the way down. This is also on the hourly. Let's look at the 30 minutes, same thing. So it is a resistance area now. We've broken out. This is potentially becoming your pullback. We are within a consolidation on the minute time frame as well. So same thing I want to look for. Now I want to see some sort of a pullback, some sort of a bump wick, and an explosive move to the top side starting. I want to see this here being cleared, and then from there potentially start to take it back up. This becomes our range now. Also got this on my, oh, let's just start the software. Didn't have this running. Oh, what's this? It's just closed. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, look at this sort of momentum you're starting to get now. You're breaking the lows of the previous candle at this point as well. And the candle is such, there is just a lot of volatility right now to the downside, guys. A lot of volatility. You are approaching the lows of the structure as well. You start breaking below the lows of the structure, you're most definitely going to get a massive drop, at least down to the next area, which is 1791, right? But again, as I said, I'm looking for sales below 1791. Until then, kind of just sitting on my hands, because this can again just be that bottom wick being formed, some sort of a sustainable bottom wick as well, because previous bottom wick was just not sustainable whatsoever. It's such a tiny bit wick, and now you would want to see a lot of momentum starting to kick into the top side. Now look, we're attempting to form a bottom wick, upper wick at this point now. We start breaking below the structure lows, I think we can start taking it down, because again, we are just attempting to form a bottom wick right now on the current 30-minute candle, right? So you wouldn't want these lows over here now to be respected, because again, we are tapping the lows of the structure as well. We start breaking below these structure lows, I might be looking to take a sell position here, honestly. Because again, now we should start forming the upper wick. Now, what business does price have breaking the structure lows unless it wants to come back down now? So let's just see. You would want to see some sort of reversal here now, starting to push back up. Previous candle was quite volatile, kind of engulfed everything to the left as well. So now these lows over here, you want to see these lows over here being respected. We start breaking below these lows, I think we can start pushing down, honestly. Do you know where it is? We start breaking below these structure lows, I'm going to take one entry here, I'm thinking, just to capitalize on that pullback, because I can see that pullback happening as well. We start breaking below this, start trading below this. We've got this clean candle we can imitate. Another 3 minutes left as well for the new 5 minute to open. So let's see what that does. Either you want to see that, or you want to see the reverse, or just kicking in now. You want to see these areas over here being turned into some sort of support and just start to push back up. This is the first rejection area we are approaching now. Start trading below this. We're gonna have this candle to imitate. That's the thing. Can see a nice pullback. Obviously, a pullback can give us a 1-to-1 really easily. Another minute left for the new 5 minute to open. Let's see where it does. Again, still just trading below this level at this point now. Like keep on respecting this resistance level now, and we're still trading below this level, because at this point, if it did want to come up to form some sort of upper wick, it will start coming up. It does have an upper wick as well, so I'm not going to marry the bias that, you know, it's just forming a bottom wick and then it's going to start pushing up, because again, if it wanted to push up, it will start pushing up now. So potentially, if we start breaking below this, I think sales can start playing out now, guys. Really want to see how this area starts to react. This is the area we're starting to tap now. Might be looking for a sell position here. We start breaking below this at this point now. Maybe the next 5 minutes. Do you know what? If it starts pushing down a little bit, I'm in this, guys. You know what? I'm in this, guys. I'm in this sell position now. Partial TP 1-to-1. Oh, hold up. Oh, there we go. Starting to push down. It's starting to push down. Wait, hold up. It didn't let me set my partial TP. Oof. Hold up. Partial TP 1-turn-1. Okay, there we go. Now the partial TP is set at this point now. Again, look at this now. We're coming back to this same zone. From here, we're expecting the bias to play out. So I want to see how it starts to react around this level now. You don't want price to start coming back up here. Again, gonna have bigger stop losses. So you really want to see now how price starts to react around this level now. Really want to see how price starts to react, because again, as I said, like as soon as the session started, man, we just had a massive push to the downside. Again, this can be your pullback area now. So from here it can be some sort of opportunities. We start breaking below this, can be our time to scale in. Let's just see how it reacts around this level now. Gonna let this play out. First position's looking good so far. Entry was here, stop loss up here, obviously above the structure highs, and from here let's just see how it plays out now. Could potentially capitalize on something like this if it all works out. Let's just see. Got to let it play out now. Just got to let it play out. This is the new 5-minute open as well at this point now. It needs to form the upper wick. It needs to start coming up. And then as soon as we start breaking below this, that's more confirmation to the downside now. Had a little bit of a rejection from this area, which is also expected. You know, we do understand that you're going to see a lot of obviously reactions now during this month. So something like this is expected. We start breaking below this now, start trading below this, we're going to start coming down, honestly. Because again, if we did want to push up, what business did price have violating these lows? Again, yeah, expected a retest here, but there we go. Wow, starting to push down now. Again, we start breaking below these 5-minute lows. I think we're going to see a nice drop. Start breaking below this, going to see a nice drop now, straight to the TP. Let's just see how it plays out. It needs to start breaking below these, and then this trade's going to start looking really good, and I'm going to make a risk free real soon. As soon as we start trading below this area, it's going to be a nice trade. I'm going to look to scale in, but I'm waiting for this area here to be broken and turn into some sort of resistance. And again, stop losses have to be massive now as well. Just keep that in your mind, guys. You have to start marking up your next zone now. Obviously need to start turning 1791.45 into some sort of resistance. You can get bounce back up from 1790.84. You do see a bounce up from there. We start clearing that. I'm going to make this risk free. So 1790.84 is that area you do see a bounce up from. 1790.84. After that, we're going to start making it risk free. I'm going to start making it risk free. Because look, again, it's attempting to break below this. Now we're just starting to make lower lows, low highs. Should be good to go down, honestly. Should be good to go down. And there we go, attempting to form new lows now, attempting to break down again. We start clearing these lows, we're going to see a nice drop now. There we go, 7 pips at this point. There we go, starting to push down now. Again, let me show you guys, this is the area now. I'm expecting some sort of pullbacks from this area, up about 7 pips on this. Partial TP is just below this. To be honest, again, as I said, you're going to see a lot of rejections, a lot of pullbacks. It's just going to be part of the game, something we're going to have to get used to now. Shouldn't really affect our psychology. It's going to be really slow, but eventually it should play out because it makes sense, right? There we go, 8 pips up at this point, 8 pips up. We start breaking below this area now, it's going to go straight to the TP. We start breaking below this area, it's going to be good. This is the last bit of a rejection area now. Start breaking below this, we should be good to go. Again, I'm looking to hold this for a little bit, so yeah, let's just see how it plays out. Again, going to see a reaction from this area now, which is expected. Really low volatile month. You're going to see a lot of reactions. And then when's the next area where can you expect? So we start tapping 1790.40. I'm gonna make a risk free, honestly. We start clearing this reaction area. I'm gonna start looking at look to make a risk free. So again, might be able to scale in on this soon as well. Look at this, still respecting this area at the moment. You do want to see this area here being turned into the resistance. Now you want to see these lows over here being violated once again, and then we can see a nice sell-off playing out. Again, some sort of faker. As I said, this 30-minute, look at that, the way it's just starting to fake everything out now. We start breaking below this again, I think we can see nice push to the downside a little bit more. We can see that next bit of leg down. And from there, obviously down there, we can potentially see the bias playing as well, but I am expecting some sort of correction first. And before that, our 1-to-1 should be here anyway. And let's just see how it works out. So far, so good. Really close to my TP. But it's going to be really slow, man. So just going to have to give it a lot of time. But the way we're starting to now just form low lows, low highs. This is that pullback area now. You don't want to see price trading above 1792. As long as we're below 1792 now, should be good, man. Look, this is that resistance level here as well. We're holding this level, still trading below this. Again, your daily is just starting to reject once again, rejecting off of this massive resistance level here. You know, you're at all-time highs on the daily time frame as well. So, you know, you can expect some sort of a bigger correction now, and the correction should give us our 1-to-1. Again, you're rejecting this level. As I said now, you're also trading below this level here as well. You guys got to keep that in your mind. So until we just stay below these levels, we're good to go down. We're good to go down. We're not coming back up. Can see some sort of pullbacks at least down to 1789. From there, might see a bounce up. So let's just see what happens. Honestly, I'm just gonna give it time and let it do its thing. Still just forming lower lows and low highs at the moment. Maybe next minute can give us some more momentum. Can see some sort of push to the top side as well, which is expected. Again, gold is just such a slow moving pair right now. You're going to see a lot of volatility to the top side as well as to the downside. A lot of fluctuations, not volatility, my bad. But it should not scare you. If you understand what your analysis are doing, it makes a lot of sense. Right now, it's good. It's going to go down, in my opinion. Gold's going to go down. Unless we start trading above these levels, at that point, I'm going to be like, okay, now the correction's done. We're starting to see more momentum kick into the top side. But right now, the momentum's only to the downside. So let's just see what happens. This is the new 5-minute open now. Let's see if it can start pushing up, and then from there form an upper wick and then a massive rejection to the downside. Again, we are respecting 1790.84, which is our rejection area for us. It's a reaction area as well. That's the thing. Really do want to see how price reacts around this level. Let's refresh this again. Looking at the intraday range, still seeing a rejection from the top side. Obviously now, as long as we trade below these levels, we should be good to go down. Honestly, should be good to go down. I think gold can start dropping now. It's pushed up enough. From here we can start to have some sort of a pullback, and then from there start pushing back up, because again, look at these 30-minute candles as well. The way they just started to trade all the way up, this is kind of becoming your retracement, and you know, you are trading below this resistance level as well. So as long as you're respecting this, you're going to see a nice drop. But again, we do understand that if certain areas do start to turn into some sort of support, you're going to see a nice push at the top side as well. But right now, the way the candles are printing, just really tiny candles. Maybe in the next 4 minutes we can start to see a push. Let's see what happens in the next 4 minutes. Next 4 minutes can give us that push. But yeah, this trade here it makes sense. It makes sense. Faking out this candle here as well, coming down to retest this. From here, you're seeing some sort of a reaction, which is also expected. But you don't want this to be so aggressive that it starts to flip now. You want this 30-minute candle to start holding. Literally, again, the first half an hour has done this move to the downside. Now you're expecting a pullback, and then obviously you want the hourly to end down there. You want the hourly to close down there. Man, the volume is just so low once again. Really low volume once again. But I'm holding this, to be honest. So far so good. Unless we start breaking these highs now, I think we are good to go down. It's just now pulling back, and then from there start pushing all the way down. Do want to be fluid in the market though. Start to see some sort of crazy momentum to the top side. Gonna look to take this out again. Stop loss is amazing, is good, in a good place. So everything's fine so far. Just gonna let this play out really, guys. Gonna have to hold these trades as well during December. That's just how simple it is. You're gonna have to hold these. You know, I have to wait for look. First of all, if you look at the structure as well, it's just literally been a massive push to the downside now, and so this is becoming that leg up to start making the leg down now. Same thing happened yesterday as well, honestly. And again, the volatility is just really low, and I think it's just gonna play out, because I'm literally again back to where my position was. I'm just gonna have to let this thing play out at this point and see how it goes. The way this candle is closed as well, it just got faked out now. And again, because obviously it's just not such a volatile month, we're gonna start to see a lot of pullbacks as well. And I think then we're gonna start to violate these lows and come down to at least the support area. From there, can see buyers playing out potentially. I'm really hoping we don't consolidate now, because it seems like it's going back to the top side of the consolidation. So I'm really praying we don't start to consolidate, because we this is kind of the lows of the consolidation as well. So I really do want to see these lows over here being turned into some sort of resistance now. But if you look at the candles, look at all the candles, you're just seeing really tiny candles. You're not seeing any sort of massive candles. The momentum candles are to the downside, so this is technically just a pullback. That's all it is. But I would definitely not scale in on this though unless we start to form a new low. So you want to see a new low being formed. This will give you more probability to the downside now. Okay, you want to see these lows over here being broken now. That's going to give us more probability. Until then, we're just going to have to hold this. Just let it do its thing. Again, I do understand the bigger picture, and I do realize that this is technically that pullback I was talking about to start pushing up. But do you know what it is? The momentum that kicked in to the downside was just insane. So I'm really thinking like sellers are in control for the day, for our session. So again, this move to the top side can potentially just be move to collect some more orders and start pushing down. Because again, look at the momentum. It was to the downside. We started to hold this level here and then made a new low. At this point, unless we start breaking above these levels, you are still forming low lows and low highs. This is technically becoming your pullback. When you start breaking above this level, at that point, this technically becomes invalid. And you know, the first scenario that I spoke about is playing out. This is becoming your pullback, and pretty much you're going to start forming higher highs and higher lows. But again, it's a bit tricky now. Look, first you formed a double top up here. It's double top as well. Look at this. Where is the arrow? It's all the way here. Man, but this month is a bit ridiculous. There is no momentum whatsoever. Double top up here. Look at this now. This candle had our upper wick, and then from there a massive rejection. Again, yeah, potentially could be that pullback to start pushing up, but I'm really thinking now from here we should start seeing some sort of rejections, because the way these candles are just printing, they're just throwing me off. Look at these candles. Look at that. This is a candle that we trade, massive candle, and look at this. How many candles it took? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 candles. So let's just see how it starts to react around this level now. We start breaking this. I'm going to take this position now. It's a 1% risk position. Let's just see what happens. Gonna have to let it play out, but really expecting this level here to hold. Not expecting this level here to get violated. If this does get violated, I'm taking this position out. I'm gonna make it just a little bit tighter as well. Yeah, let's just make it a little bit tighter. Really just hoping either we start breaking out of this, that's going to see your clean bias playing out, but otherwise we don't break out of this, you're going to see a consolidation. Really hoping we don't see a consolidation. Really hoping. Again, let's just see how it starts to react around this level now. Got another 3 minutes left as well for the new 5-minute open. With that, you can start to see some more momentum. There we go. Do you know what it is with my analysis right now? The only thing is I'm expecting a deeper pullback. This pullback, I don't know if I'm happy with this pullback. Just seems like such a basic pullback. I think we can see a deeper pullback, like start to break these lows and potentially come down to at least 88, form some sort of double bottom here, and then start pushing up. And the thing is, obviously we got such aggressive push. This just became aggressive, what's it called, like it literally had an aggressive correction as well. But now we start breaking above this and start violating this. That's literally the analysis again that we spoke about. Is going to come down to this level. From here a massive push to the top side, which is so slow. Would you guys have really executed on something like this to the top side? It becomes really tricky, man. Really tricky to take a position here. Sells make way more sense over here. Kind of being a cowboy here, but it made sense to be a cowboy, innit? Will you teach on Telegram channel? I would say, guys, best time to learn is not December, because December it's going to be really hard for you to trade if you're not a seasonal trader. Even look at me. For me, it's not that it's hard to trade, but what happens is with December, right? Because we're so disciplined, you have to really accept losses and be you have to understand that you can take another trade when your other analysis is playing out, because it's going to be really slow. Look at this now. It's going to start breaking out to the top, and then if it starts breaking above this and stops me out, at that point it's invalid. The trade becomes invalid now. But again, the idea was that it's going to come down, it's going to do some sort of a pullback, and then from there start pushing up. But what I thought was, now look, at this point, this is a lot of aggression to the downside as soon as we got the session open, and I was expecting to trade with the momentum once again. That's where I went wrong once again today. I was expecting to trade with the momentum. That's what I'd done wrong. And then look what's happened now. There was just not enough momentum in the market to just keep on pushing down a little bit more, because my TP was literally like a couple pips away, and then this would have been a winning trade. But honestly, it's still just struggling to break to the top side. It needs to start breaking above. At that point, you can start to see some sort of clean movements. Until then, I would say like we've got to be careful around here. From here, you can start to drop as well. Would be extra careful around this level. We start breaking above this, then again, as I said, understand the bigger picture. I kinda did trade against my bias as well today. My bias was bullish, but do you know what it is? It's December. It made a little bit of sense to take that sell position. Expected a little bit of a deeper correction. Again, that's my bad for expecting something deeper. I should have just reacted to the zones. And so it is what it is. It is what it is. But that's where, guys, you know, when your losing streak kicks in, you know, it's not about your analysis. You know, there could be a lot of things in the equation. That's when you have to just start accepting losses, man, and just not let your psychology get to you. Again, you know, we usually are on a mad winning streak. And, you know, something like this can throw people off, but it doesn't throw me off, honestly. I still believe that unless we start breaking above, sales are going to play out. It's just having a really aggressive correction. So unless we start breaking above, this sales can still play out. We can still start pushing down. That's why stop losses are all the way above the structure highs, right? Because I do remember yesterday, even though our analysis played out, the stop loss just wicked me out. So again, what I've done today is I'm not going to repeat the same mistake, am I? I'm going to let this trade play out, stop loss above the structure highs. So unless it starts pushing above structure highs, I'm not going to, you know, my stop loss is not going to get hit. Now you got tomorrow as well. Tomorrow is going to be really high volatile session. Probably going to see a lot more compared to today, because today is just a gain. Didn't do much, to be honest. Maybe 3 o'clock you can expect something now. It's pushed down about 24 pips. Really did expect it to push down a little bit more. Literally at least down to this resistance level. And if we did start breaking below this level, we should have seen a massive push to the downside. So now you got another 3 minutes left for the new 5 minute to open, and then after that you got the new 4 hour coming up. You still haven't violated the structure highs just yet. You're still respecting this level. Again, collecting more orders to start going back down. Do you know what it is? You got one reaction. There we go. Again, starting to push down once again. As I said, guys, like, don't let the fluctuations scare you, because look at the same thing now. Look at your bearish candle, and then look at all these bullish candles as well. One bearish candle kind of starts to engulf everything. It took like so many candles to come up to this level, and all it takes is one candle to kind of like correct 50% of this move to the top side. Not 50%, 25%, but do you know what I mean? It's going to start pushing down again now, and technically start forming a new low, because again, your inner consolidation broke the lows of the consolidation, came back to retest the highs, and now it should start pushing down again. Let's just see what happens, man. Holding this trade unless either my TP is going to get hit or my stop loss. You can't really have any sort of, like, you can't take off risk unless, like, as I said, I can make it risk free if it starts breaking below this area. Until then, I'm just holding this. I really do believe that it's going to start pushing down. Just needs a little bit more momentum. Maybe the new 4 hour can help us start pushing down again. Haven't been stopped out, still in this trade. Just looking to hold this. Let's see what it does. Let's see what price action does. It can very well start pushing up as well from here. But as I said, unless we start breaking above these structures, you're still forming lower lows and low highs. That's the structure high. And look what's happened once again. Such a low volatile session. It took so many candles for gold to push up, and then retest of this, you literally just saw two massive candles. So either now you want to see a massive bullish candle starting to engulf everything to the left, or you just want to see that push to the downside just start once again. That's all it is. obviously again playing a game of probability. You don't want to see these structural highs being violated. Look at that. See, again, as I said, now you want to see on one massive engulfing bullish candle or a push to the downside. You're tapping this resistance level now. Let's just see how it reacts around this level. You want to see these highs over here being respected as well now. Lower lows and lower highs being formed at this point. Another minute left for the new 5 minute to open. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does with the new 5 minute open. How big is this candle? It's probably the biggest candle we've seen now, this bullish candle, and it's only about 5 pips as well. Look at this candle, 5-6 pips. Do you know what, guys? I would really recommend that you guys don't trade this month. It's really going to affect your psychology. For me, I'm really chill because, again, I'm not taking massive losses. So I'm actually like fine with even being on a little losing streak if it doesn't go my way, because again, price action is just not moving how it normally moves. So like if it was a normal session, this will again be a winning trade. Yesterday would have been a winning trade as well, because we are momentum traders. So when there is momentum, again, you get those massive wicks. That's the best thing about gold. Otherwise, you're going to see things like this, you know, a lot of like slow price action. You can trade based off slow price action, but really you have to tweak your strategy, and then you'll have to tweak it back to normal from Feb. So it becomes a bit tricky. Yeah, just wait for NYSE because of low volume month. The moves will most probably appear at NYSE. Oh, yo, it's pushed up now, guys. It's taken me out of this trade now. Unfortunately, it's taken me out of this trade. It is what it is. Yeah, it's just pushing up. Do you know what, guys? I'll be completely honest. That's exactly what the analysis were. I'm going to be completely honest. Today, what I've done is I've traded against my bias as well. That's one thing I've done today. As straight up coming onto this session, I said, we're going to wait for this pullback. We're in a massive uptrend. We're going to start forming higher highs, higher lows. That's exactly. But do you know where it was? I was trying to capitalize on this sell position here. I was trying to capitalize on that 1-to-1 before it pushes up. But then I just married the bias of just holding the sell position, because I was like, do you know what? A deeper retracement is expected. So what I've done today is I fought my own bias. I should have stuck to my bias, and then this would have been a winning day for me. Again, the pullback unfortunately was just not as aggressive as I expected it to be, which is also expected. It's a month of December. So do you guys see how trading can kind of really affect you if you start trading during this month? I understand myself, you know, it's all part of the process. You know, silly mistake I've made now. I'm not going to be making this silly mistake again. It is all part of the process. It is, at the end of the day, December. I'm not going to beat myself for it. I'm not going to cry. You know, we do understand that, obviously, I am a really highly profitable trader. I do understand risk management, understand everything. And this is part of the plan as well, part of the process. One thing though, really, one thing that I've done today is I should have started to take some risk off over here. I didn't expect this reaction here to be so explosive, because once again, look at this now. Look at all of these candles as well. Do you know what it is? Yeah, it doesn't show you a massive engulfing bullish candle. You see this bearish candle here. If I saw something like this, I would have taken risk off, but unfortunately, we didn't see that. And over here, this would have been that buy position as well. Literally spoke about this as soon as the session opened. I was telling you guys, listen, look at your daily candle. It's not even pushed up about 100 pips now. You just want to see how it starts to react around this level. Then we're waiting for that pullback. We've broken above the 30-minute resistance as well. You know, you're gonna get the pullback, because again, this candle didn't give you that pullback, did it? It didn't retest a significant area, I was telling you guys. And so this just was that pullback to actually give us the actual move. So once again, what I've done today is I fought my bias. Normally I don't do this, but man, it's December. It's December, guys. It is what it is. Gonna be, again, you got more volatility coming in soon as well. Big boys don't cry. Yeah, man, we don't cry. Do you know what it is? Yeah, guys, you have to accept losses as well. If you don't expect losses, right, then you should not expect winners as well. But once you start to accept them, you can also accept them winners as well. At that point, it's just not luck. Right now, again, if I was lucky, then guess what? The sell should have worked out, but I know exactly why it didn't work out, and let me tell you guys why it didn't work out. And look at this actual move now. Look, the target was 17.95 as well. That's the funny thing. The actual move is actually playing out now. So if you guys stuck to my analysis, again, see what it is. If you stuck to my analysis, you had a profitable day today. You stuck to my analysis yesterday, you had a profitable day today. So it's actually not the analysis, is more like the way I'm managing positions now because of the month is stopping me out a lot. Because I'm a momentum trader, I'm expecting the momentum to start giving me those massive moves, and I think that's where I'm going wrong during this month now. Luckily, you know, my psychology is on point. I'm not over risking. I'm not taking 10, 20 trades a day. So, you know, my account's still good. You know, I've not blown up my account or anything like that. But, you know, making these silly mistakes, definitely need to work on these mistakes. But again, this is just not, it's not permanent, is it? It's just for December. Next week, should not be expecting anything either. Might even take next week off as well, guys. Just have a little bit of rest, because look at the next week now. Tomorrow, you're gonna see volatility. Friday, just not gonna see anything. But next week is just bad. Bank holiday, clean price action. So yeah, I think like this is the last week now. Tomorrow is probably gonna be the last day, and then after that, next week, I have to take next week off most probably, and going up to Feb. I think Feb, that's when you can start trading. Honestly, it's gonna be either Jan or Feb. Like the real trading is gonna start from January or February. That's when it's gonna start. Even the first week of Jan is quite good. You got a lot of volatility kicking in. So look at that. That's December done now. Starting to get January now. The first week of Jan now, you're starting to see some volatility, starting to see some high volatile news events as well. And yeah, I think that's when you're going to start seeing more volatility kick into the markets. This is the new 4-hour open now. Let's see what it does. Let's see what it does, guys. Let's see what it does. Can we see another opportunity? This candle here ended up being that explosive candle as well. Yes, sir, and that's when I'll be joining you, definitely, DA. Yeah, man, do you know where it is, bro? I would recommend everyone to really start focusing from Jan and Feb. Like this month, just take it easy, man. Don't look into this too much, because you're gonna mess up your trading strategy as well. Because again, this, you know, especially if you trade gold, right? Your strategy, it's meant to work when gold is obviously normal. So when gold is not normal, obviously if your strategy is highly profitable, it's not going to be profitable anymore, is it? So that's why these sort of months when you know, price action is just not normal anymore, you kind of have to tweak it a little bit. But don't look into this too much. Don't try to tweak what already works, if that makes sense for you guys. Don't try to change your strategy. Like the strategy we have is really profitable. Just because it's not working out this month, again, it should be working out. It's nothing to do with the strategy. It's me as a trader. I made a little bit of a mistake today. Again, anticipated price to, you know, give us more momentum. Should have reacted rather than predicting. That's where I went wrong today. You know, as soon as we approached this level, I knew like my TP was just like 3-4 pips away. Just needed the last bit of push. Then I just married the bias that, you know, now the sells are gonna play out. My judgment was cloudy, and you know, I just held this position and got stopped out. I could have made a risk-free here as well. You know, could have entered once again when I saw that confirmation once again. You know, there was many ways of doing this. The way I done it wasn't the best way, but again, you know, straight away going into the position, I wasn't risking a lot. It was just a little bit, 1%. So again, it was a 1% risk. I wasn't risking like 2-3%. So again, there was no over risking either. So it's just a loss. It's just a losing day, really. That's all it is. Which is really normal when it comes to trading. Even when you are highly profitable, you always see losing days as well. Not every week's gonna go in your favor. Look at gold now. Look how dead gold is. It's only pushed about 40 pips as well. Yeah, it's just dead, honestly. Do you know what, guys? Let's see what the next 5 minute does now with this new 4-hour open. Potentially can see some more momentum now. You're gonna see some more volatility kick in obviously 3 o'clock when our session usually ends. But honestly, I don't know if I wanna participate in this mess anymore. One thing though, I would like to hold a sell position, but it will have to be like a intraday position. So if I can maybe catch a sell position from the top side of the range, if we can see like a nice rejection from up here, take a sell position and just hold like an intraday range and just let it do its thing really. 1% risk and then hold it for like 126 R2R. Like that one I'm interested in, but I think scalps are becoming a little bit harder now. Because the thing is, with scalps, this sort of price action can really throw you off. This sort of price action. The confirmations are completely different. Usually, my confirmations are those massive candles, right? Those momentum candles. Over here, you guys can see you don't have any sort of massive engulfing bullish candles. You only saw the engulfing bearish candles. So I actually did trade my strategy, actually. It wasn't that, I didn't trade my strategy. I did trade my strategy. And it made sense to take the sell position, but there was just wasn't enough momentum to give us that deeper retracement. So the actual move actually was a buy position. We did speak about this earlier when the session started, but I was trying to capitalize on that pullback and then the buy position. So what happened with me was I kind of got caught. I got caught on the pullback. That's what's happened now. Maybe if the position was up here, as soon as this candle closed, I could have gotten the TP, keeping stops 15 pips. Now once again, it would have been like 5 pips away from my TP. Same thing again. So this would have been a losing trade either way. But again, this is my strategy. I did trade my strategy, expected a deeper pullback. But you know what happened? Once again, I should have expected this move here to not be as aggressive, because again, it wasn't the actual move. The actual move was this pullback and then take it up. So what's happened now is, because I capitalized on this move and then ended up taking a loss. I ended up staying out of this. So this was an opportunity missed because of this. So again, what you can do is, during this month, take it from me. If you know the actual move is going to be to the top side, you should be willing to miss out on this and should be willing to capitalize on this. But again, I'm not taking like million trades a day, otherwise I would have capitalized on this as well. So all goes together. It's all about managing risk, sticking to 1 to 2 trades a day. I'm going to come in tomorrow again with a lot of confidence, because I know, guys, the plan is really profitable. I've back tested it. It's really profitable. Any questions, guys, in the YouTube live chat? What are you guys looking for? Talk to me. Are you guys still holding these buys? Because it makes sense if you are holding these. I'm not going to lie to you. It makes a lot of sense. Next area that you are approaching is obviously this area now. You're starting to clear this, and next rejection area is 1795. You start clearing this, then obviously this area up here becomes that next pullback area. So you're gonna have to start marking these areas. Yes, sir. I'm in buys. Yeah, that's amazing, man. That's amazing. Do you know what is, yeah? Again, guys, if you kind of did use me as an analyst and you use my analysis, these are winning analysis. Even yesterday, the analysis were winning. They were winning analysis. It's just the position management which we done wasn't right during this month. But you know what is, yeah? I'm actually not gonna let this kind of like throw me off, because it's just a month. Can't do much about it. A lot of people blow their accounts up during these months as well, and we're still just being really disciplined. Yeah, we might not be having those crazy winning streaks, but it's part of the game, man. It's part of the game. It is what it is. Just gotta stick to 1 trade a day and just keep on coming into the markets every single day and just start to adopt a little bit as well. Now, next time, one thing's out of the equation is not capitalizing on any sort of pullbacks. That's 100% done now. Tried it here. The pullback just did not work. This is the actual move now. First target got hit, which is 1795 now. So you really want to see how it starts to play out now as well. Let's look at the 4-hour candle quickly. So, okay, it has a bottom wick as well as an upper wick now. Part of the game, you slaughtered all of December, bro. Yeah, I know, my bro. Do you know where it's with me as well? I like to be a perfectionist. I always like to be, I always like my work to be perfection. But again, we are humans, man. We do make mistakes as well. And yeah, man, it's just part of the game. Again, honestly, guys, I'm not gonna let this put me down, because it shouldn't put anyone down. This is part of the game. But do you know what? All we can do now is learn from this. So I'm actually quite excited now that I've learned a new thing about December. December, you should not be capitalizing on those pullbacks unless you can take some sort of an impulsive entry. The only impulsive entry I can really see is, could have been as soon as we started to see this momentum candle start to form up. But again, this was the open candle, so you could have expected an upper wick as well. So over here now, this was your first attempt to form an upper wick. It failed to form an upper wick, had a little bit of an upper wick here. So the way it closed, the cleanest entry I can really see is this entry here. Could have had a really tight stop loss, had a tight stop loss yesterday. It didn't work out for me, so I didn't want to go in again with a tight stop loss. So today we're gonna kind of like go over our session a little bit, because again, another couple minutes, 15 minutes to be precise, we're gonna see some more volatility kick in. So we can kind of go over our session today. So look, now let's say if I had taken this position here now, obviously usually stop loss always goes above the structure, right? Always goes above the structure. Now let's say you want to put a couple pips above, so this is 14, 15. So let's say to be safe, you're giving it a little bit more room to breathe. You're putting it up here. So now your 1-to-1 is all the way down here. Look at that. So technically it was literally just 5 pips away from my TP. And you know what I should have done? I should have taken off some risk as soon as it started to break above this highs now. This is what I should have done. Because what happened now at this point was, look, again, you're playing a game of probability. You want this area here to be respected, right? And as soon as you're starting to break above this, I should have taken off 50% here and see what sort of retracement is. If it's just forming higher highs, higher lows, should have taken off more risk up here. That way I could have managed my position. So you guys can see, in a way, if this was normal price action, this could have been a winning position now, because it would have most definitely broken out of this and wicked out a little bit. It would have been a massive wick. But due to the nature of this month, I got stopped on this position now. So again, because I took a sell position here, it became a bit tricky for me to actually capitalize on a buy position here, because again, trading my strategy now, we usually wait for those momentum candles. And these momentum candles, you want to see these candles kind of like start to engulf everything to the left as well. You're seeing these candles, right? You're starting to push up. If you actually look at the momentum was to the downside as well. These are your momentum candles, another momentum candles. And this, I feel like this is just your pullback now. Again, you started to come to the top side. Again, you saw momentum candles to the downside. And then you just start to see these small candles print out again. So once again, it's just one of those things where the market conditions are just not in our favor right now. So best thing I could have done was just made it risk-free and then take a break-even trade rather than a loss. So I think it was a little bit silly of me to take a loss on this. But again, what I saw yesterday was, if I did put my stop loss in the right place, and if I did hold, it went straight to the TP, and it went way past the TP as well. So I was kind of expecting the same thing. I thought maybe we're going to get some sort of a deeper retracement, but it's just coming up to collect some more orders. But that's where I went wrong. Yesterday, do you know what it was? That was the actual move. The actual move was to the downside. So it made sense to actually hold it. But today, this was just a pullback. So I don't know what made me think that I should actually hold the pullback. Whereas the actual move I knew was to the top side, because as soon as you guys came on, I did tell you guys, like, this is what we should be looking for. Should be expecting gold to come up to the top side of the range. So see, this is what I'm learning from this session now. I'm learning that obviously when I am holding to the and it's the actual move, I'm expecting it to actually be the actual move, then I should hold. Otherwise, I should be really quick to get out, because it can really easily just start to reverse, because you're not going to see as much momentum, so you're going to see less fluctuations now. So that's exactly what's happened now. So an amazing day for me, because I've learned from this once again now. Also, every December is different as well. You guys got to keep that in your mind. If you got your December where there's a lot of like COVID news going on, it's just going to be a lot more volatile. Now it's just much more stable. This December is much more stable now. So this is basically data collection. We're like collecting data here. But yeah, what's happening, guys? What do you guys think? Did you guys learn something from today's session? I think it was quite educational, what we've learned today. I'm trying to figure out how I could have capitalized on this position though to the downside. Look at this now. Let's look at the 4 hour once again, because I am looking to capitalize on a sell position from up here, man, because I think it can play out. Look at your daily time again, daily time frame once again, starting to reject this zone once again. We start trading below this level here. Really want to see how it starts to play around this level now. Start trading below this again. I think we can start to have that correction now. Ooh, might just be looking for a position real soon now. Let's just see how this starts to play around this level. It's a new 15-minute open as well. Might just hold like a little intraday range, because again it makes sense at this point now. You have the upper wick done as well. You've had the move to the top side. This was the move we were waiting for. Literally, this move to the top side comes up to the top side of the correction, top side of the range. From there, we start to see a correction. Again, look at your range now on the daily. This technically should become your range now. Should start playing within this range. This is where you should start seeing a pullback now. From here, start to break out of this, and from there, obviously, 1795 and 1800. Either this becomes our range, otherwise the lows become our range. So I'm gonna just start marking out these ranges as well, because I am looking for another position, but more like an intraday sort of position. Kind of like hold it, like 1% risk, and just hold it for like 124, 125 R2R. That's gonna make back my loss and more profits on top as well. But again, just gonna wait for the extra bit confirmation, because it's the last trade of the day. As I said, I'm coming in with 2 trades for the day. This is the price range, I think. Yeah, this will be your first range now. And below that is the range that we are trading within. So now you're gonna have to wait for the confirmation and see what price wants to do. And I'll give these cells a second try as well. Okay. This candle has an upper wick now. It's got a little bit of a tiny bit of a bottom wick as well at this point. You do want it to start trading below 1793. So if we start to see this candle now, it starts to push down, starts breaking these lows, starts trading below 1793, which is a key level now at this point. You should be staying above 1793, but I think we start trading below 1793, we're going to see that correction, honestly. Until then, I'm going to see higher highs and higher lows. So I want to see how price reacts around this level now. Start trading below 1793. This area here is going to start holding as a resistance, and we're going to see this massive correction start. Look at your daily candle as well, again tapping into these rejection zones, and you're seeing rejections as well, but now you want to play again the next zone. This is a key area, so you want to see a lot of sell orders being executed here, drive the price down to the next zone, and then you want to see more pressure here as well, and then you can start to see some sort of a dump on gold. Gold can start sinking. Until then, just gonna form higher highs and higher lows, as you guys can see to the left as well. Clean traffic. You can really easily take it up from here. Just gonna have to wait, see what NYSE gives us as well. Potentially with NYSE we can see some more momentum kicking. But going back to the trade that I did take, do you know what is, I really did expect some sort of retracement, at least down to like this level here, form some sort of a double bottom down here, not here, but it did make sense though. This was that area. From here we did get a massive explosive push to the top side. And looking at the daily range once again, you guys can just see it's like our analysis are playing out to the T once again. I do want to understand where the actual move is. So now when we usually do start to push up from this level, what happens is that usually you push up from this level, you want to see exact move to the top side. You can see this level here, a lot of rejections, massive rejection here, massive rejection here. So don't want to take this area here lightly. It is a key level here that we are starting to approach now. And again, there is just not a lot of momentum in the markets. So we start trading above this, then you can start to see a massive push to the top side as well. Otherwise, sales can really start to play out from up here now, in my opinion. If I can take like a sell position, 95 could be that stop loss. How big would the stop loss be though? About 20 pips, and kind of like holding it for at least like the retest of the lows. Position here, intraday position here, and then kind of like hold it down to the daily lows. Could easily get 1, 2, 3 R2R on this position. Again, do you want to see those confirmations now? This area here, you got a rejection from this area now, and it's this area here being violated once again. And I'm looking to see if I can capitalize on a sell position from here. Because look, again, just look at these candles. Like the momentum is to the downside. But I think what gold wanted to do was just come up to collect some orders from up here. That's kind of what I'm thinking, because you don't even see one massive engulfing bullish candle. As soon as you see our massive bullish candle, the next candle you see is a bearish candle, kind of like faking it out and just taking it back down. So every time buyers actually do try taking control, you see the momentum is always to the downside. So I'm really still thinking that sales can play out nicely if we start trading below this level now, because this kind of becomes your range. You'd want to see this level here being respected now, but you start breaking below this, then again we do understand that intraday range is actually this becomes the top side of the range. The lows are all the way down there. So that's why it becomes really crucial now to see how it starts to play out. But yeah, are you guys still holding these buy positions, everyone? Look at your 4 hours or previous 4 hours was so bullish, man. There is no bottom wick either. Look at the wick as well. There's a tiny bottom wick. I really do have a feeling we're gonna tap this level, and then from there a massive sell-off is gonna start to play out. Honestly, let's just see what happens, because we've got NYSE coming up in the next 9 minutes as well. So everyone watching, what are you guys in? Are you guys in any sort of positions? Have you guys been stopped out? What are you guys doing? Let me know. Because now the sky is the limit. Sky is the limit if you start breaking above this level here though. I'm still holding buys. Amazing. So where you guys trying to take out some profits? Hopefully you guys have secured some profits. Learn from my mistakes. Just secure profits, man. I'm still in these buys, lol. Amazing stuff. Do you know what? Maybe the NYSE can give you guys that last leg up to the top side. At least up to like 95. Yes, price retest after breakout resistance level at 1791. 1791, yeah. Patience is key to success, not to rush into a trade. Let the trade come to you. Exactly. Holding up to 1809. Someone's holding up to 1809. 1809. Also is a little intraday range. Intraday trade you have. Okay. So where's your stop loss then? Is it probably at break even now, right? Secured some at 1795 and holding past 1796. Okay, so you guys are quite bullish as well. Makes a lot of sense. Do you know what is? On a normal day, I'll be quite bullish as well, but it is December, so I'm expecting some silliness to happen during NYSE, and then 3 o'clock we get some more momentum. I'm going to look to execute on one more position, but I just kind of want to wait for that extra bit of confirmation. Right now it's too high for me to buy, but obviously a selling opportunity could show up here as well. Followed by ascending trend line since 1786. Okay. Yeah, I don't trade based on trend lines, but a lot of people do, and then yeah, it usually does work as well. So what do you draw your trend lines on monthly, daily, weekly? What do you use to draw your trend lines? You know what, let's quickly do again another fresh analysis. Look at your whole range, right? You gotta understand, right? At this point we broke out of this range. Quite bullish on gold. I've been bullish on gold for like the longest, because if you guys have done a one-to-one session with me, you do understand that we are in a massive uptrend, right? So this move to the downside was because of FOMC, and all of this liquidity was generated down here. We grabbed a lot of liquidity, still respecting the lows of the structure, and usually when we do come down to this level, this is what we get, right? We see a nice push up to this level, and obviously from there you see a nice retracement all the way back to this level. From there obviously the next high gets formed. After we form the next high, what do we usually get? You get this push to the downside. From there another second retest, double top, and then from there start to push down again, and then a massive leg to the top side. So exactly same thing is basically playing out once again now. You had such aggressive push to the top side now. Some sort of correction was required, and again this candle, I told you guys, I was expecting this candle to actually start pushing down now after retesting this high. You know, this push to the top downside kind of had this correction now as well. And so obviously once the correction is done, you would want the leg up to obviously start to form up now. So this technically could be that leg up. Well, what I'm thinking now is, can we pretty much come down a little bit more? Potentially retest one of the key zones. Or do we usually see a massive push to the top side from this level? So if we just mark the daily lows now, let's see how price starts to react around this level. Do we have enough orders to take price all the way back up from here? Look, mostly the retests are a little bit deeper. This will be probably the closest retest that we do have, but again, it's a little bit deeper as well. So exactly what I feel like the bottom wick is just not big enough. I would expect it to be a little bit bigger, and then from there see that push to the top side. But again, previous candle did retest the same area, and this one did come down to form those lows, and now it's forming the upper wick. So now what I'm looking to see is this just an upper wick to potentially come down to retest the lows once again, and then from there see what price wants to do. So now I want to start marking out zones. Where do we usually see a massive rejection from when it's pushing up? We're literally approaching one of the zones now. You can see a massive rejection starts to play out from this level. So you'd want to see us starting to trade above this level now. Yeah, it looks good. We start clearing this level now. What happens? You see a massive push up to the next target, which is 1801. So 1800 is achievable. We start trading above this. But now we start rejecting from this level. You're coming all the way down, look, to the daily lows. So again, can see the sales playing out here as well. But we start clearing this, you can also see your buys playing out at least up to 1800, that's for sure. Because every time you're pushing up, you see rejections from this level here. You usually see a sell-off playing out from this level here. So that's why I would want to see this level here being turned into some sort of support now, then take it up. Otherwise, I can really see a sell-off playing off. So it will be one of those things, zone to zone. We'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. NYSE coming up in the next 4 minutes. So let's see what the NYSE does, guys. Let's see. Do you know what? I believe that a massive sell-off can really play out today, guys. This area here, do you know what it is? It's just forming that upper wick to collect significant amount of sell orders to start pushing down. Because again, look at the momentum. Look at the momentum is to the downside, and this is just like a pullback. It's just like, I feel like you're gonna start seeing a dump today. If not with NYSE, you're probably gonna see that with obviously 3 o'clock when you got the news event kicking in. And I really do want to see if I can capitalize on that. Now again, let's start marking up more zones. When we usually do, always start to reject from here now. You got another rejection zone just down here. So that could be our second confluence now if we can align this with something. Usually look at that, it turns into some sort of support. If it's not turning into some sort of support, it usually turns into some sort of resistance, right? So we're just going to have to wait now. Just going to have to see how price starts to react within this range. I think a massive sell-off can start to play out from here. And if I was to be a cowboy, I would probably put my stop. If I was to be a cowboy and start taking a trade now, probably put my stop loss above like this level here. This level should definitely be respected. I'm going to change that color to red as well. Potentially above like maybe put like a stop loss above here and just let the trade play out, like a 30 pip stop loss, like 1796. From there a massive sell-off can start playing out. 1796.27, and then just let it play out to the daily lows basically. Something like this could most definitely play out in my opinion. Because it's going to be hard for price to start breaking out of this. If there isn't just not enough momentum, then obviously the next logical thing is a sell-off. It's going to play off. Obviously not that much. Something like this. Could be nice R to R as well if I do hold this trade. Because again, logically, It's going to take a lot for price to break out of this. Today, is it really realistic for us to start breaking out of this? Man, you really have to think. Really have to think. Look at that. First top here, you're forming low lows and low highs now. You start breaking below this, you're coming down to the next zone. So I want to see that confirmation now. After retesting this, I want to see these lows over here being violated as well now. In the next minute with the NYSE. Just turn my magic keys on as well. Looking for this little intraday range over here. Intraday trade. So stop loss above, basically above 1795.600 basically. Took a little 1% loss today, so I'm down 1% for the day. And so let's see what happens. Momentum needs to start kicking into the downside as well. Should be good to go. 1795.600 should be good. There we go. This is the NYSE now. Let's see what we can expect with NYSE at this point. Looking for a sell position. If we start to respect this level, start violating lows, start turning, you know, this area here into some sort of resistance now. Either that or you're going to start turning this into support and start breaking to the top side, right? So either way, you're going to start seeing something now. This is where the first leg up started from. Look at that. From here, you saw selling momentum kick into the downside now. And you saw this was the bottom wick done at this point now. And the upper wick done as well. So price actually has no business breaking below this now whatsoever. It should not be breaking below this. It should just start breaking to the top side, start forming higher highs, higher lows, and start turning this into some sort of support. At that point, that becomes our next range. Otherwise, this is the range, and this is just the top side of the range, and the lows of the range is all the way down there, right? We should not be breaking below this area now either. That's the thing. There we go. Again, momentum starting to kick in. Let's see how it starts to react around this area at this point with the NYSE. Really looking to see. You know where is, guys? I'm gonna look to take a little intraday trade as soon as we start breaking below this open. Start taking a little intraday trade here, and I'm gonna look to hold this now. That's it. Push one more time. Push one more time. There we go. I'm in this little trade now. Gonna put my stop loss up here and gonna just let this play out at this point. Gonna let this play out all the way down to this level, not making it risk free until I start to hit 1-to-1. At 1-to-1, I'll look to make it risk free. So it's a big trade. I mean, big stop loss, 19 pips. And this is where I should see a sell off playing out from. Wow, seeing a nice push to the downside, man. Let's just see partial TP at 1-to-1, obviously, and let's just see what happens now. Because if we start violating this at that point again, as I said, that would become our next range. But I'm expecting this range to hold. Look, you're forming low lows, low highs. Should be good to go down now at this point, in my opinion. Should be good to go down. Sell-off should really start playing out from here now. We're seeing massive rejection. Again, look, every time there is momentum in the market now, it is to the downside. That's the best thing about it. The momentum is actually to the downside. So let's just see what happens, guys. Let's just see what happens. Just gotta let this play out now. And again, this is more like an intraday sort of range. Obviously, stop loss is above here, all the way up here. Just in case we start breaking above this, this is the next area that should be respected. From here, you can see also selling momentum kicking. When we start clearing that, then I'm going to take out this trade. And this is also my last trade of the day as well. So I'm kind of looking to hold this now. And hopefully with 3 o'clock, it can kind of like start giving us that push to the downside. So I'm kind of looking to hold this now for the day, if that makes sense. So let's just see how it plays out. Makes sense. Makes sense. Little sell position makes a lot of sense here. Let's just hope we have enough momentum now to start doing something, either pushing up or pushing down. So stop loss is at 95 600 plus, basically all the way up there. 600, yeah, basically stop loss is up here, because I can still expect some sort of momentum to the top side as well, but again it's an intraday range, so entries doesn't really matter that much, to be honest. As long as it's taken up here, not down there, it's good in my opinion. Stop loss basically just above this level here, and yeah, rest we're just gonna lay this thing now. If it works out, lovely, because again, look at your daily range, kind of like catching the daily candle all the way from the top side, right? Could catch like easily 50 pips on this if it works out, for sure. Again, don't want to obviously be too optimistic now and start aiming for the wick close. Just gonna aim for that support area, the daily time frame. And yeah, let's see how it plays out. I'm gonna obviously secure some profits at 1-to-1, and then the rest we're just gonna let it run to the daily area. So first aiming for the 1-to-1 obviously, and let's see if we can at least get the 1-to-1 first. Again, stop loss is a little bit big, so it needs to push down at least like 20 pips. My stop loss, to be precise, let me tell you how many pips. It's about 19.4 pips my stop loss is. So it needs to push down at least like 20 pips for my 1-to-1 to get here, basically. So yeah, let's see what happens. Again, forming lower lows and lower highs. Still, look, this area here being respected as resistance level now. You want price to start trading below this level. At that point, it's going to give me a lot of confidence in this trade. And yeah, if I can secure the 1-to-1, I might be able to scale in on this position as well, most definitely. Kind of like make this risk-free and scale in. 1-to-1, I'm going to make it risk-free as well, by the way. And then obviously 3 o'clock, you can expect it to just start dropping, pretty much. So yeah, let's see what happens. Beautiful trend line on 5 minutes time frame. Oh, you trade trend lines on 5 minutes. Oh, nice. Okay, we're coming down to this area now. Again, are we going to learn from our mistakes and secure some profits here, or are we going to hold this? Just keep that in your mind. Not financial advice, but just saying something, right? This is a key area here. Just saying that. This is a key area. From here can bounce up. Same thing can just happen again. Same thing. But look, honestly, the momentum is to the downside, man. I don't believe the buys are really going to work out like that. I think sells can really start to play out. But now from here, I would be really careful around this area. From here, you can just start to push all the way back up. I'll be super careful. But we start breaking below this now, I think we're going to see a nice drop. We start breaking below this. So I'm going to just mark this on my MetaTrader 4 as well. Start breaking below this area. Gold's going to give us a nice drop. You're forming low lows, low highs. Again, same thing can happen. You can start to reject off of this. We start breaking above this. Now the probability obviously goes again to the top side, right? Well, again, this is more like an intraday approach, so I would not really be taking off any sort of risk, but I'm just giving you guys some sort of examples of what we've learned from today's time frame, right? Today's trading session. That's kind of how you become better as a trader. Just learn from your mistakes. So now I've learned, see how quickly I've picked up, and I've learned. I know from here I can get some sort of reaction, and if we start violating these highs, I should start, looking into something. But we start breaking below this, I think our TP is going to get hit really quickly. I'm up more than 10 pips up at this point. More than 10 pips up. Look at the reaction that we get from here now. If we see a massive engulfing bullish candle starts to break above this, it's potentially going to form that next leg back up. Just keep that in your mind. So really look for the reaction here. But we start clearing these lows, it's going to start dropping as well. Going to be a nice push to the downside. And I'm look to make a risk free real soon now. So there we go. It's pushing down now. Nice push to the downside. The TP is coming up 13 pips up at this point now. Honestly, I'm going to make a risk free at this point, guys. I'm going to put stop loss at entry at this point. If it lets me. There we go. So there we go. 14 pips up on this sell position now. The 1-to-1's about to get hit just down there. Really close to the 1-to-1 at this point. I'll put the stop loss just up here now. Risk-free trade. Yeah, it's a risk-free trade at this point now. So let's see what happens. Is it going to give me my TP, or is it just going to stop me out? To be more sensible, should secure some profits if it starts trading above this area once again. Should close half if it starts trading above this area, and take out the. I'm going to take out the 1-to-1 if it starts breaking above this. starts turning this area, starts holding this area into support, I want to take off 50% here, be a little bit sensible, and just take on my partial TP and just hold it. Well, that's a winning trade, guys. Look at that. Look at this beauty. Look at this beauty, guys. Look at this. See, patience pays, man. Told you. Like, it's the momentum is to the downside. It's not to the top side, man. It's not to the top side. We start breaking above this. I want to take out this partial TP and I want to close 50%, secure some profits. And then just let the rest just run, honestly. I'm telling you guys, the momentum is to the downside. It's not to the top side. Look at the candles, the way the candles are printing. That's so dodgy, all of these candles to the top side. And look at these clean traffic to the downside now. Wow. There we go. As soon as we start breaking below these lows, it's going to go straight to my TP. Give me my TP. There we go. There we go. There we go. It's coming up, guys. The TP is coming up 15 pips up at this point. 15 pips up at this point. Do you know what, yeah? If it starts being dodgy here, I'm going to close 50% and take out my partial TP and let the rest just run. Going to be extra bit careful. I don't want to see any sort of highs being violated. I don't want to see candle highs being violated. I'm going to take out 50% profits if I see highs being violated. Do you know what it is? This level here is crucial now as well. If we start turning this into support, start breaking above this, potentially going to start coming up in it. So it can stop me out at break even, so I'd rather secure some profits. But I'm going to take out my partial TP though, if it starts breaking up here. But this is a new 5 minute as well, so potentially just forming the upper wick to start pushing down. That's all it is basically. But again, playing the game of probability makes sense to take out some profits if we start breaking above this wick here. Start breaking above this wick, I'm going to take out 50% profits. And then rest, just take out the partial TP and let it run. So is it going to make me close half? There we go. That's just the upper wick being formed, reaction from this resistance level. You want it to start breaking these lows now and give me my TP. There we go. Let's go. Start breaking these lows now. And then the TP is coming up. Let's start breaking these lows, Goldilocks. As soon as it starts breaking below these lows, it's coming all the way downtown, guys. All the way downtown. Let's get it. There we go. Look at the momentum, guys. Look at the momentum, guys. 16 pips up, 17. As that's the TP hit. That's the TP hit. Oh, I told you guys something's gonna play out nicely today, man. Wow, that's the 1-to-1 hit. Risk-free trade. See, I told you the momentum is to the downside. Look at these tiny candles. Literally, as soon as some momentum kicked in, the whole move was just corrected. Wow, we're just gonna let this run all the way down to the daily lows. Now look at the 1-to-1 smoked, and now we're just gonna let it run all the way down to the daily lows. Man, I'm telling you, look at the daily candle just starting to flip now as well. I'm holding this all the way down to at least like 1787. I'm gonna put my stop loss there, 1787. No stop loss, my TB. And I'm gonna hold 1787 now. There we go. Amazing, 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 amazing. See that sell position just playing out. It made a lot of sense as well, honestly. Because the amount of orders we had up there, honestly, it made a lot of sense. Look at this. It's just going to start dropping now. Let's go. 100 pips coming up. Don't want to get too excited. Do you know why I'm getting excited? Because my 1-to-1 has been hit before the 3 o'clock news, and so obviously with 3 o'clock we're gonna get way more volatility kick into the markets now. So we start trading below this area, I'll be good to go down. It'll be good to go down. Can potentially execute another position. Because I'm telling you, the momentum is to the downside right now, guys. I don't see any sort of momentum to the top side, honestly. I don't see it. Really don't see it. That's the thing. Okay. There we go. We just need to start forming low lows and low highs now. Another 2 minutes, we can potentially see the next leg down. And then obviously with 3 o'clock, hopefully we can start seeing a dump on gold. Look at this sell playing off. I love sells, man. Do you know what is on the day? You need to see where the momentum is. So I actually was not wrong. It just wanted to go up to collect some more orders. That's all it was. So again, even though my selling analysis were correct, my buying analysis were also correct. But then again, it just wanted to go up to retest that zone. Literally, you had to go up to the T to collect some more orders. And now you guys can see the sales are starting to play out. Look at this. It's going to start dumping now. See, guys, how as a trader, I didn't take the loss to my heart. I just waited for my opportunity to show up again. And I executed. And look at this now. More than 20 pips up at this point. Wow, it's just dumping, man. It's just dumping. It starts breaking below this. Oh, boy. Gold is dumping now. Someone said price break out the trend line as well. Yes, let's go. We broke out the trend line as well. Let's start selling, everyone. Start selling, start selling. Let's drop gold today. 20 pips up. So yeah, as I said, guys, as a trader, this is how you gotta be. You can't let a loss get to you. Cause right now I'm again winning now. I know, like, you guys see me, I'm happy. It's because, you know, but again, it's just normal. I'm really not really that happy. I'm excited that, you know, I'm happy to see my analysis working out again, and this time me, you know, the way I've, you know, kind of like took a position as well, it kind of worked out really nicely. But again, you just have to be like that. You have to be really mutual when it comes to like your emotions when you're losing as well as you're winning. You guys saw me, I wasn't crying, I was just trying to learn from my mistakes, and now look, it worked out so nicely. It worked out so nicely. You guys saw me literally learn from my mistakes, execute again the same session, and make more profits. That's what trading is about, honestly. That's honestly what trading is about. So you guys can see, technically my first position wasn't too bad either. But unfortunately just had to come up to collect some more orders now. But same trade I'm taking now, same trade. I didn't execute on a buy position either, so I didn't all of a sudden, you know, jump from a sell to a buy position. I just waited for a better position, and now look how nicely it worked out. The 1-to-1 got hit, and it's just amazing. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Let's see now if our runner can survive. This is the new 15-minute open as well. With that, we can obviously see some more momentum kick in. But man, I'm really excited for the news to give us some more momentum to the downside. I think that's going to either drive the price up or down. It depends as well, right, on the fundamental factors. But if it aligns with the technicals, I think we're going to see that push to the downside. To the downside. But again, as I said, like the whole session, like it looked really, really dodgy, guys. Like these candles, just tiny candles. As I said, I wasn't comfortable taking this buy position. But sell position, I was comfortable taking a sell position here. I was taking a sell position here, I was comfortable. And look how nicely it's playing out now. More than 20 pips up at this point. And I might look to scale in with another position with the news. But we're going to have to wait for news. And maybe below this level, we can see another massive sell position playing out. Start breaking below this, man. Gold's just going to start dumping today, guys. So the main TP is at about 60 pips, 56 pips to be precise. So there we go, more than 20 pips up at this point. There we go, we're coming down to these lows once again. We start breaking below these lows, I think we're going to start dropping. Oof, 26 pips up. Wow, 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 look at these lows. The lows are being retested. We start breaking below this, we're going to start dumping. Oof, gold is dumping, guys. Look at this. See the momentum. This whole move to the top side has been corrected. Look how many candles it took to go up there. And look, just a couple candles to take it all the way down. Man, I'm telling you, the move was to the downside today as well. It just couldn't be asked for these buys today. Honestly, I just didn't have that confidence today. Unless I was, you know, seeing some sort of massive candles print out. So now let's say if it was to form a nice double bottom here, see a massive engulfing bullish candle. At that point, I'm going to be like, okay, now we're going to start going back up. But these candles here, I just wasn't comfortable with taking a buy position with these candles here. Because anytime you get momentum, look at that, massive bearish candle. Anytime you see a momentum candle, it's just a bearish candle. That's why this was such a nice move to the downside. Such a nice move. So now, guys, we got another 12 minutes left for the news to kick in. And let's see if we can start catching, might be able to catch another sell position. Because I'm willing to now kind of like risk 1% for the day again, because I'm break even, right? Kind of break even, but obviously the run is still in profit, but do you know what I mean? TP1 smashed at 1791.36. Amazing, man, amazing. Yeah, my TP1 got smashed up there as well. Now just the runner is running. It's just amazing, so far so good. Finney and Case, hopefully you guys executed on this sell position. Okay, so guys, everyone on the YouTube live stream, are you guys still holding the buys? Are you guys in a sell position? Let me know, man. Talk to me. Talk to me. It's a month of December. Not many people are trading anymore. It's just me on my own now, one man army. Let's make this a little bit more live. You guys do realize, right? These 2 hours, I just talk and talk and talk. Like there is nobody I'm having a conversation with. I'm just talking on my own, just talking with myself. It's crazy. It's mad. Still holding buys, yeah? Yeah, amazing, bro. This could just be that leg down to collect some more orders from here to start pushing up. It really depends with the momentum now, which way the momentum will be. You had the upper wick being formed in the 15 minutes, so it's potentially now forming that bottom wick. So if it starts breaking above this level now, then yeah, it's going to start pushing up. Yes, I took a small risk. So nice. And so, oh, Finney's in as well. Amazing. Cooking breakfast for these girls. Amazing. Sales are playing out nicely, man. During this month, catching something like this really gets me happy, man. Because again, if you did take a buy position, you would not have capitalized on like this amount of pips from down here. That's for sure. So this was actually the actual move. So we got another 10 minutes left now for the news to kick in. With the news, man, we might just go straight to the TP. And again, with news, might be able to capitalize on one more position. Because now I want to see gold just dump. Just want to see it start to drop, start to form new lows on the daily as well. That's what I want to see. So we just have to wait for another like 9 minutes now, and then hopefully that's gonna give us that better picture. So look at these lows now. And see these lows over here being violated over here now. So you're forming, now at this point you're forming low lows and low highs. It's just like structures working in our favor. 1789 is your, yeah, that's exactly my TP as well. 1789-ish basically. Not 1789, man, it's about 1788. It should be doable. Guys, like and support the stream. Yeah, thank you, Samita. Yeah, guys, make sure you do drop a like, man. I've noticed you guys only drop like when we have winning days, and you don't show love when we have those losing days. There we go. 27 pips up at this point. We start breaking below this, we're gonna see that nice drop. Honestly, if I was in a buy position, I would definitely be looking to manage my positions now, because I think gold is gonna drop now. Ooh, there we go. Starting to chill below this area here as well. We start holding this area, we're gonna start dropping, guys. We're gonna start dropping nicely. Oof, it's looking great. Look at the way it's flipping. This candle's gonna drop now. Let's go. Down to 1789.72. Can we get that? Might be able to get this. There we go. Another 8 minutes left as well for the news to drop, guys. Ooh, look at this drop. 32 pips up. Look at this drop on gold. Look at this drop. 33 pips up at this point, guys. Oof, look at this drop. Yes, sir. Wow, look at this drop. Wow, what an amazing drop, man. What an amazing drop. Look at this drop on gold. Caught this all the way from the top side as well during this month on the YouTube live stream. Wow, amazing. Told you guys. Oof, gold's about to dump. Oof, look at this, 40 pips up, almost 40 pips up. Guys, we start breaking below this level, man. I'm telling you. Ooh, boy, look at this drop. 40 pips up at this point. Yo, this is going to go way past my TP before news as well. It's going to fly past my main TP before news. Wow, look at this drop on gold. 40 plus pips up at this point. 40 plus pips up. This is going to go fly past my TP at this point, honestly. Told you guys, the actual move is going to be to the downside. This was all just a bluff, man, to collect more orders. See, this was the actual move. The momentum was always to the downside. Always to the downside. Just wow, what a sniper entry up there as well, right? What an amazing sniper entry. Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing. And now it just needs to move down a little bit more, and then the main TP is gonna get hit. And hopefully another 6 minutes. We got news coming in as well, guys. Got news coming in as well. Keep that in your mind. Don't forget that. Don't forget that, guys. Don't forget that. Got news coming in soon as well. With obviously that's gonna bring more opportunity to the markets. Might be able to execute on some sort of a sell setup once again. We'll see. I'm really expecting the daily lows to get tapped first, and from there see what we can do. So I really want to see what sort of momentum we get with the news kicking in, because we start respecting these levels and see a massive push to the downside. Might be able to capitalize on that 1-to-1 position with my 1% risk as soon as the news kicks in. Do you know what, guys? It's all about learning from your mistakes, man. You guys saw me make, once again, it wasn't really a mistake, but do you know what it is? It's December. Like, the market conditions are just not in my favor. So, you know what? It wasn't really a mistake once again. It was my strategy, executed on it, could have managed to risk better, but look at this now, executed on it once again now, and it's working out so beautiful. It's so beautiful right now, the way it's working out. And this is like running at 1 to 2 now, R2R. So imagine, see how it works, how trading really works. You can't prevent losses, man. You can only learn from losses. Like, you guys got kind of like understand this. You can't prevent losses, you can only learn from losses. Now look at this winner. This is running at 1 to 2 R2R. So you know what, if you held this for 1 to 2, you would have been in profits for the day, right? You would have been up 1% if you ended up risking 1% per day. So do you know what I mean, per trade? But yeah, amazing. I think this is gonna go right past my main TP at this point, man, before the news, or maybe news is gonna give us the last push down. But guys, make sure you do drop a like on the YouTube live stream. That's really helpful. I know now we're not really gonna get as many people watching because of December, but you know, if you guys are like the regulars, and you know, make sure you guys do show some love as well. You guys do tune in. Every like helps, man. Every like helps. Ooh, the way we're holding this level, honestly, I want to see what happens in the next 4 minutes now. Oh, look at the way the daily flipped as well. See, look at the way the daily just flipped from up there, man. And now this is the next area. We need to keep on respecting this area. At that point, we're going to start flipping and start forming new lows on the daily, honestly. At least like down to the previous daily lows could be the first TP. So I want to see this area here being respected now. Starting to turn, I want to see this area here, 89.500 being turned into some sort of resistance now. So 89,500. Yeah, this resistance level here, 89,500. Yeah, this area here I want to see. Oh, this is going to go straight to the TP, guys, at this point. Honestly, look at this. 3 more minutes left for the news as well. So let's see what happens. So obviously we're seeing some sort of reactions around here. We want to see prices staying below this now, honestly. This is also your daily resistance level as well. We stay below this, you're coming down. You're coming down for sure. Hopefully with the news we can start to see that. Wow, 40 plus pips up at this point. 40 plus pips up at this point. Amazing, amazing. So far so good. Got news coming up in another 2 minutes. So let's see. Next 2 minutes, we start trading below this. We can see the next leg down. A massive push to the downside. I'm just going to close some of the runner here though, just to be safe, secure some profits. We start breaking above this, because this is that crucial area. I do not want to see us breaking above now. Do want to see gold starting to trade below this area here. So I might just secure some runner, some of the profits up here now. Let's just see how it reacts around this level. Are we going to close above this resistance here? Yeah, I'm going to close 50% of this runner now. Secure some profits at this point. So secured some of the profits over here now on the runner. Again, being extra bit careful. Another minute left for news as well. I'm not saying he's gonna push down. He can very well push up as well. So might as well secure some profits when the runner was so close to the TP. The main TP is just down there. Again, the trade was running at 1 to 2 R2R. The stop loss was, I think, about 14. I don't know how much it was actually. I don't remember how big the stop loss was, but I think it was about 17 pips or something. So yeah, even the first trade, man, it was like 4 or 5 pips away from my TP. I should have just made it risk free. This could have been a second winning trade. The first trade, the way I managed it was quite silly, to be honest. But again, it's market conditions. Can't blame myself. I've learned from it and ended up, you know, taking a massive win. So again, it's a good day. But do you know what, guys? I'm a perfectionist. I like the day to go my way. You know, with trading, it doesn't really always happen, but do you know what? That's how much work I put in. Even with trading, I make sure that it always goes my way. Hope everyone's secured. Yeah, like I said, 1789 KO is strong. Hope everyone secured some. Yeah, that's exactly why we secured half down here, guys. You know, as I said, this area here is really crucial now, so you do want to secure some profits. That's why I secured some profits. Again, this is just a retracement now. This is the news. So let's see what happens with the news, man. Might look to take a position. Let's just see how it plays out now. Because the way now the daily is pulling back to this zone, you can see a lot of momentum to the top side kicking from here as well. So let's just see how it starts to play around this level now. 1792, which is our next level. I'm going to turn my magic keys on once again. Could potentially even see a sell-off playing out at this point if we start to reject off of this level now. Let's see how the next candle opens, man, because the wick to the top side, it wicked up all the way to the top side at this point now. See some exhaust. You want to see some momentum kick into the downside. Maybe stop breaking below 1790.70. From there, could potentially take it down. Want to wait for the extra bit of confirmation. News didn't do too much, to be honest. Gave us that upper wick. Let's look at the 30-minute time frame at this point now. See if it's formed the upper wick now. So I need to start rejecting off of here now and just stop pushing down, to be honest. So the minute time frame has formed our bottom wick as well at this point now. So you want to see this bottom wick being broken at this point and just starting to push down. Still no bottom wick on this 30-minute candle. Previous one did reject off of this level, so do you want to be extra bit careful. Extra bit careful. At this point, you can also see, at this point, you guys can also see these are momentum candles now on the minute time frame as well. So we're gonna have to wait for one nice bearish candle to print out at this point. And then you can potentially say the pullback is done. But now it's coming back up to this key zone as well. This key area that we do have from there, obviously. Now we can start pushing all the way up to the top side of the range. That's why I've secured some of the runner. 50% of the runner was secured down there. And let's just see how it plays out now. Again, there is no bottom wick on the 30-minute candle as well. Keep that in your mind, guys. Especially during the month of December, it has to form a bottom wick, man. What I'm thinking is just coming up to collect some orders, really. That's all it is. To start pushing down once again. And this time, because of news, it's got that push up. News, and also what else was in the equation is the fact that we've tapped into this key area now, but it's only pushed about 30 pips now, so it's tapping into this area. Let's just see how it reacts around this level now. You can really start to push down from here as well. But we start breaking above this, at that point we're coming up to the highs, most probably coming up to the highs. So this area here, you want to see this here being respected now, because you formed the low at this point for the day as well, so potentially can go up to retest the highs now. The momentum is to the top side with news. Let's just see what happens. Yeah, previous candle was just so massive as well. This can literally just be a correction, tapping into this resistance level and then starting to push down. I would not be surprised if another selling opportunity shows up from up here. Honestly, just gonna have to have patience and wait. That's gonna be the key today. Patience is the key. Look at the way this is just respecting this zone as well now. Beautiful. Let's see how it starts to play around 1791.94 now. We want to see a lot of momentum to the downside starting to kick in the next minute now. You don't want to see these highs being broken at this point. Otherwise, it's just going to start pushing up now. Because look, this is your first, second, and this is the third attempt to break above this level. So now we see a lot of momentum to the downside. At that point, I think we're going to start pushing down. Otherwise, we can start breaking above this and come up to the structure highs. Because again, where did the push to the downside started from? It started from up here. It's a significant area. So even if I was to take a trade here, probably going to put my stop loss like up here and kind of like hold it once again for a little bit. Becomes a bit tricky to, you know, take those tiny stop loss trades during this month. But right now, guys, news has just drove price all the way back up. But look at the candle once again. On the intraday range, we have to go down. There is no 30-minute bond wick as well. So amazing. Push up. The more you want to push up gold, the better. Thank you for pushing up, actually. You're going to give me a better entry now. Thank you very much. Keep on pushing up. Really happy. Let it push up, guys. Let it push up. Stop breaking below this. Bruh. Taking this bad boy all the way down there. Stop breaking below this now. It's forming the upper wick, man. It's that nice upper wick. Do you know what it is? Reaction from this area, news. It's forming the upper wick, but it's struggling around this area now. What I can think is collect some more orders here. Start violating this structure lows here. From there, sell off starting to play out once again. Until then, again, I think we start breaking above this. Just gonna start to consolidate within this range again, because remember I spoke about ranges. This is our first range, this is our second range, and then we have a range above this as well. So just want to see what sort of range we're playing within. And so you want to sell the top side of the range, right? You don't want to buy it, especially when there is no bond wick. There we go. Starting to see some momentum kick in now to the downside. Can we see something nice to the downside? Still, there is momentum to the top side. It is trying to push down, but it's struggling. It's definitely struggling right now. Yeah, it's still holding this level as support. This is the new 5-minute open as well. Potentially could be just forming the upper wick, and then from there start to drop down. Let's see what happens. There we go. Attempting to push down once again now. After forming an upper wick, what business does he have breaking its own lows unless it wants to push down, right? So now he needs to start breaking the lows of the previous candles as well. Start to, you know, engulf everything to the left as well. I want to see how this candle closes though, because I think this is now the sell-off might be playing out at this point. Really want to see how it starts to react around 1791. This might just be the sell-off now playing off. If it starts to react around this level, starts to break below this level, I think we can start pushing down at this point. Either that or we're going to start flipping up, flipping to the top side from here as well. So either way, being extra bit cautious now. Tempting to break down, but it's struggling a little bit. Look at the 30-minute candle as well at this point. Just does not have that bond wick, man. Let's just see how it plays out. Still not taking any sort of positions just yet. Still waiting for this to either form that deeper upper wick and then from up here reject, or start showing me some momentum to the downside now. Because right now it just looks like a pullback down to 1791. I wanted to start violating 1791. Start trading below it. At that point I'll like it. This area here now again becomes really crucial. Right now I've not executed on any sort of sell positions because technically now again you are trading above this key area that we do have, which is 1791.94. Do you want to see gold starting to trade below this, starting to violate this, and potentially then the daily wick could be the target. This could be the leg up to start forming the leg down potentially. Let's see what happens. right now it's trying to, you know, there is momentum to the top side because of news, and now, you know, it's starting to get exhausted. And now you want to see gold starting to form low lows and low highs, potentially start trading below 1791.94. That's going to give us that confidence that we're going to come down to retest the lows now and potentially form that next low, the next leg down. Otherwise, we're just going to push up, and I'm really not looking for a buy position. Sell positions, that's the only thing I'm going to execute on. So let's see what happens. My initial position is running from up here as well, which we have secured at 1-to-1, and obviously we've secured 50% of the runner down here as well, so it's just a really, really tiny position running at this point now. More than 1% was secured on it. So now let's see if we can potentially capitalize on one more position, another sell position from up here. That would be the highlights for the day. Maybe next 5 minutes can give us that push down. Might want to put, it honestly seems like it wants to push up a little bit more. Honestly, it does. Honestly, I don't think it's ready to drop just yet now. Same thing playing out once again. At this point, we do have a sustainable bottom wick as well, but look at the 4 hour as well. The bottom wick is really, really tiny. I think because now the 30-minute does not have a bottom wick either, man, just so many confluences that we can see sales playing out to the downside. It's becoming that retest, maybe some sort of a deeper retest, and then from there start to push down. Because look at this, man, there is literally no bottom wick on this 30-minute candle now. Needs to start violating these structure lows, man. Needs to start violating these structure lows here, and then from there I think this might be a sweet entry over here. Obviously being safe, don't want to put stop loss above here, want to put it above this structure, but could definitely see this playing out. 20 pips, got clean range to the downside as well, that 1-to-1s can easily get hit, and then, you know, let the rest of the runners just do some damage. Because if you put your stop loss above the consolidation, that's going to be too big. It's about 30 pips, way too big. But above this structure high should be good enough. Because over here you have enough, you know, you have like significant amount of sell orders up here that you can actually take the sell, you know, sell position, and you can expect price to drive all the way down to the level. You've seen that happen in the past, so obviously I would not want to bet against that. It did technically start from here. This became a retest, obviously. This area did hold, so from here we saw a massive push to the downside. So again, I think we might just be coming up, seeing some sort of retest from this, so it can play out. We're just gonna have to wait and see right now. Just a lot of reactions up here. It is December as well. That's what news done, just gave us this massive pullback. Hasn't given us anything crazy, so again, we're trading above this key level now. This becomes a whole range, so this is the lows of the range. Potentially start breaking above this, coming to the top side of the range now. So right now, sells are not safe whatsoever unless we start trading back within this range, which is below obviously the structure lows as well. So that's why now, what business does price have trading back into this range? It should just start pushing up, or technically it might want to, you know, break the lows, form new lows. It might want to form a new bottom wick. Many confluences. Many confluences. So again, break of this, I think entry will be sweet. Another 3 minutes left for the new 15-minute to open as well, so let's just see what happens. Let's see. Got another 3 minutes left, guys, and another 3 minutes left. Can we see a lot of momentum to the downside? Kick in. And the higher the entry, the better. The bigger the stop loss can be. The safer the stop loss can be as well, to be precise. But I would not be looking for trades unless we start trading back within this range and stop breaking below this. Then this entry should be really nice. Really nice, I think. Kind of just hold it down to this, and now, you know, we can start having that correction and leg down, actually like start violating these lows. Could definitely see that, because again, look at this point now, after the momentum started to die out, you know, the volume that kicked in with news started to get exhausted. You can see all these candles have started to exhaust now. So now again, you want to see what sort of candles are printing now. Look, momentum to the downside has started to kick in once again now. So you want to see these lows over here being violated just to be on the safer side, because we can get stuck in a consolidation now. Is 3 o'clock. Obviously NYSE is gone, everything's gone, all the high volatile sessions are gone. So you want to be extra bit safe, extra bit careful, and actually want to see a nice close below this or break below this, just to know that okay, now gold is forming no new lows and it's not just stuck within this consolidation. So that's why no impulsive entries up here or even down there. Just want to see a nice clean break of this with momentum. Then you can say okay, now we're starting to trade back within this range. Technically we're going to start pushing down and form that new low, and even if it doesn't want to form that new low, at least it's going to give us our TP. Look at this clean range as well. That's the best thing about this position now. Maybe in the next minute we can do it with the new 15-minute open. Let's see what happens. Again, let's look at the daily time frame as well to give us a little bit more confidence. Look, still rejecting this key zone. Just keep that in your mind, still rejecting that key zone, guys. This is the new 15-minute open now. It needs to form the upper wick first and then just start dropping, honestly. There we go, it's forming the upper wick now. You're going to see this area here being respected, starting to turn this area into some sort of resistance. So as long as we're trading below this area, we should be good to go down. That's the 15-minute attempting to form the upper wick now. There's a tiny bit of a bottom wick as also. There's no business breaking below now. It's to just start pushing up, unless it wants to push down and give us our trade. Let's see if it wants to give us our trade now. Right now there is just no momentum in the markets. There is just no volatility, so that's what I'm saying. It'll be extra bit. You want to be extra bit careful now during this time, because you don't want to get stuck in a consolidation. So safe play will be to wait for at least the highs to get broken or the lows to get broken. Then you at least know that price is still forming new lows and new highs. Otherwise you can technically get stuck within this range because of the time now. Do you realize that we don't even have any more news coming in? News was at 3 o'clock. This is all the news done. Just give us this massive pullback, that's all. So now this is basically your consolidation. Either way, you need to wait for this to break either to the top side or the downside. It's attempting to form the upper wick now. There is no bottom wick on the 30-minute time frame as well. So retesting this structure up here. Let's just see how it holds, man. Let's just see how it holds. This previous candle we did capitalize on. Nice candle. But my runner is very close to getting stopped out as well. It's only up 5 pips in profits now. My runner position is very close to getting stopped out. Let me just show you guys my runner position right there. You know, you guys can see stop loss at break even. Runner position, it's very close to getting stopped out, but had a position from up there. So let's see if we can scale in on this. But I'll give it another couple minutes now. I want to see us breaking out of this. I'll give it this half an hour. Otherwise, gonna call it a session, guys. But I think sales can play out. What are you guys now doing? Are you guys in a buy position, sell position? Talk to me. Look at the way this is just turning into this support area. Now I really do want to see this get cleared. Are we gonna see some momentum kick in to the downside? You want to see these lows over here being broken to be safe. Honestly, you do want to see that, because it starts to now, honestly, just look what's in front of your eyes. Like, forget what your head is telling you. Look at the candles, 5 pip. Look at the previous candle, 2 pips. Look at this current candle. It's just nothing whatsoever. So honestly, now in December after 3 o'clock, very high chance we might start to just consolidate now. So don't want to partake in this unless you start breaking out this consolidation with momentum in the next 12 minutes. The first half an hour of this, you know, open of this hourly open, and then, you know, you can actually start getting the actual move on the hourly. Pretty much is just forming the upper wick now, and then we can start getting the actual move to the downside. If there was a bottom wick, then I would not be trading this either, but this is just, oof, look at the momentum starting to kick in now to the downside. Might be looking for my position soon at this point, honestly. Do you know what? It starts pushing down a little bit more. I'm gonna take one position here. Just put stop loss all the way up, all the way up, because you're still respecting this area here now. It needs to start pushing down, start breaking out, and I'm in this bad boy. Can I just let this run all the way down? Do you know what? It needs to start breaking to the downside now. I'm gonna take this low position, put like a bigger stop loss, because it will become really impulsive if I was to just take a position now. It'll become really impulsive. So you would want to put like a really big stop loss, like really big stop, not above this, like above the previous structure highs. This is consolidation. As I said, we're still not broken out the consolidation, so you want to be extra bit careful, because you can just start trading within this consolidation now. But again, when you see lows being broken out, low lows, low highs being formed at this point, should be good to go down. Otherwise, don't get stuck within this consolidation. My runner position is only about 5 pips away from getting stopped as well. 10 pips away. No, my bad, not 5 pips. 10 pips away. So I'm just going to mark out the top side of this consolidation at this point now. See how it starts to react within this consolidation. Let's see what happens now, guys. Let's see what happens. Gonna give it a couple more minutes. There we go. Can we see a breakout now? Let's see this breakout. Do you know what it is? I think it looks good now, honestly. As soon as we get this breakout, we should be good to go down. There we go. Let's get this breakout now. Let's get it. Let's see this breakout. Start breaking out this consolidation and start pushing all the way down. Let's go. 16. Ooh, there we go. Nice. We should just start dropping now, honestly. Stop loss at entry soon. I'm gonna put stop loss at entry real soon now, because I want to see this being held. Again, it's kind of like my position. You still haven't closed below this, keep that in your mind, but I have a position running now. You can very easily just flip and start pushing back up as well. Keep that in your mind, guys. Don't think that we've still broken out of this. That's why my stop loss is all the way up here. Giving a lot of room to breathe. But at this point, after breaking out of to the downside, it starts breaking to the top side as well. I'm going to manage some risk, that's for sure. Going to take off some risk. We start breaking above this consolidation now. And then let the 50% just run. But that flip, again, see what I mean? That's exactly what I'm talking about. This flip here, because of 3 o'clock, is just going to struggle. That's exactly what I'm talking about. But I just want us to start breaking below 1790, and then I'm going to make this risk-free as well. Then I'm going to have 2 risk-free trades running. But in my opinion, it makes sense. But this is now forming a double bottom here. Look, after attempting to break to the downside, if it starts breaking to the top side of the consolidation, now I'm going to take off 50% here. Going to manage some risk on this position. Doesn't make sense for it to start breaking to the top side now after forming these highs, unless it wants to come up to retest this, but it can potentially break this and retest that. So, you know, better be safe than sorry. That's why bigger stop loss makes a lot of sense during something like this, especially if you take like a really impulsive position, because you can very easily start to reverse. I told you guys, something like this, you want to wait for a clean break and close, and then so can play out. Okay, my runner is about 7 pips away from being stopped out. Is my runner going to survive, or are we going to get stopped out? What's going to happen? Another 7 minutes left as well for the new 30 minutes you open. Keep that in your mind. This one's starting to trade above this zone once again. My runner is about 7 pips in profits now. 7 pips in profits. Come on, Mr. Runner. See this double bottom being formed here. We start clearing this, just gonna go up now, and I'm really not gonna predict, I'm gonna react. I'm gonna take off 50% of the position if we start breaking above this. Let the rest just run after. Until then, we can just come up here to collect some orders and then start violating these lows. But you guys can see it's just consolidating now, so be extra bit careful. It's more like an intraday trade as well. I'm gonna just let this run and see if my TP can get hit on this trade. I'm gonna leave the TP all the way down to this level, and yeah, just gonna leave the stop loss open as well unless we start trading below this level here. Then I'll look to make it risk free. Until then, just gonna leave this trade, let it do its thing. And yeah, again, you are just within this consolidation. That's why I did say be extra bit careful. But now you've taken one sell position, it went shit to the TP. If you're willing to risk some more profits, I think like this sell position does make sense now, because this is your leg up. But I would say if you are in a sell position here, if it was me, I would definitely secure some profits above this, because my run is only about 8 pips in profits now. My run is about 8 pips away from getting stopped out. So that's why I've secured 50% of the runner down there as well. It's always good to even secure your runner, guys. Even though you might not hit you know, your actual TP, is always good to secure. Always good to secure. Always want to be safe. Another 5 minutes now. Next 5 minutes can potentially give you that breakout and start pushing down. Where do you want to make this risk free? Well, obviously 1-to-1s all the way down there. But you know, once you start tapping, I think 1789.95, if you have another trade running, I'll definitely make a risk free around this level though. This level here, definitely making it risk free for sure. And that's how many pips in profits? It's like 20 pips in profits, making it risk free. Gonna change the color to green. That's when we make a risk free. And yeah, let it just do its thing now. You gotta let your trade play out really. If you believe that it's gonna drop and you've taken a sell position, then just let it play out. My run is still in 7 pips in profits, 6 pips in profits now. Run is gonna get tapped out, man, if we break out of this consolidation. Honestly, it's gonna get tapped out. This is what news done. Now this is that consolidation. It needs to come up to a significant area to collect some more orders to correct this move for the, you know, this news that this move that news gave you. It needs to be corrected. Look at this bottom wick in the 30 minute as well. There is literally no bottom wick. It will get corrected, but it just might want to come up a little bit more. I would start being really careful around this level as well, because it's starting to break to the top side of the consolidation. I would really want to see how this starts to close now. Got a little bit of a rejection now. The next candle, you gotta be careful. My runner is about 4 pips away from getting tapped out now. Come on, runner, you can do this. About 4 pips away from getting tapped out. You know, I'm going to secure some more profits on this runner now. It's really close to getting tapped out, honestly. Really close to getting tapped out. And my TP is all the way down. You know what, I'm just going to leave my TP open and just let it do its thing. If it gets stopped out, it's not like I'm going to lose anything. It is what it is. 2 pips away from getting tapped out now, my runner. 2 pips away. I do believe that we're still going to drop. Maybe, might be from up there now. Runner's about to get tapped out. It just needs to push up another 2 pips now. Because my runner is literally here. Literally is here. This is my runner position, running from here. So it doesn't even need to break above this to stop me out. It just needs to go and tap this area, and then my runner is going to get taken out. But my other position, stop losses are up here. But I've taken 50% off that position as well, because gold is just moving dodgy now. And 3 o'clock, it's going to start to consolidate, as I said. Consolidation, broke to the downside, reacted, pushed all the way back up. Might just start pushing all the way back down now. So that's why I've got open TP and an open stop loss now. My TP, main TP, is actually the daily lows. I can still see daily lows being hit if we start pushing down from here. Look at your 4 hour once again. I think we can still start pushing down, honestly. Start trading below this area now. Still forming low lows and low highs. Still haven't violated any sort of highs just yet. Keep that in your mind as well. You're starting to see some more momentum kick into the downside now. There we go. That's the momentum to the downside starting to kick in once again. Amazing. Okay, still you're just seeing like a lot of reactions. A lot of reactions, honestly. That's all you're seeing right now. This level here needs to turn into some sort of resistance now. This level here needs to turn into resistance, and then you're going to see that drop. Do you know what it is? I still have a feeling that gold's going to drop, man. It just needs that little bit of momentum from the top side. It needs to collect those orders, and then from there just start dumping from up here. But I think we start, as I said, like this is becoming your new range now. So you start respecting this range, start forming higher highs, higher lows above this. See momentum candles, then this is just going to become the bottom side of your range. But right now, look at the candles. Just tiny candles, still struggling to push up, still rejecting. So unless this bullish candle starts to like engulf everything now, the range, the previous range is still a valid range for us. But right now it's trying to figure out if it wants to make this next range a valid range. And if it starts breaking above this, then yeah, most probably it will become a valid range. And I'll be really concerned if I don't get stopped out at that point, because my run is really close to getting tapped out. It's just up here. But technically, we start holding this, we're going to start going back into the previous range, which is all the way down there. And that's going to kind of give us that move to the downside as well, which we are waiting for. Till then, you're just going to have to wait for it. See how price reacts around these levels. But you should really start seeing a massive engulfing bearish candle now as well. And start clearing these lows and then just start trading below this level here. As soon as we start trading below this level, I'm just going to close my eyes and let this trade play out. Until then, it's a little bit tricky because I don't know where he wants to grab those orders from, because it could be anywhere up here, right? Anywhere up here you can get those orders from. Even could go up for a little bit of a liquidity tap and then from there start pushing down. So it could be anything like that. So if there are significant amount of orders now, we're going to start to see the correction now. That's why you want to see these levels over here being violated at this point now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Anyway, guys, amazing session once again today. We caught the sells to the downside. Took a little bit of a loss as well, which is also part of the game. But we came back, and now got another position running here. Now this is the your little intraday position. Stop losses are all the way up here. Gonna let this run literally down to the daily lows. It's not a 1% risk position either. It's got about 0.5% running, but it will make me 1% because I'm not securing the 1-to-1s. Just gonna lay run to 1-to-2, but obviously at 1-to-1 I'll make it risk free. So my run is still running as well at the moment. So let's just see what happens. So I'll just show you the both positions. So first position is the big position is only in 5 pips drawdown, and the run is up 8 pips right now. So got these two positions running right now. I can really see the sales playing out. I think we just need a little bit more momentum. So I'm just going to leave this, let it do its thing. And, as I said, daily lows, that's the target. Daily lows are below this. We're going to now go down to form the new low. So, yeah, potentially might just see that coming up now. Look at that. You're still seeing momentum to the downside. That's why stop losses are all the way up here. So I'm going to let these run now, guys. Obviously, make sure you guys do follow me on Insta. I'll let you guys know how the trade went. Either the TP got hit or the stop loss. Again, it's a 0.5% risk on this position now, after securing my 1% on the previous position. Doesn't make sense to risk 1% once again, right? So let's just see how this plays out now. Gonna hold this because I do believe gold can still drop a little bit. And yeah, I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow hopefully will be a lot more volatile. When are you making your Telegram channel? I'll make Telegram soon. Y'all have a great day. See you in the morning. See you. So yeah, guys, once again, let me just make sure you guys do remember that tomorrow is going to be a really, really volatile session. Make sure you guys don't miss out. We're going to look to execute like straight away. So make sure you guys have subscribed to the channel and also have the notifications turned on, because tomorrow is going to be a really volatile session. So again, don't want to miss out on that opportunity. So we'll catch up with you guys tomorrow. Everyone have a lovely